Good day, everyone. How are we doing today? Good day, beautiful people. Good day, Miss Jayla. What's up, young? How you feeling? Hey, beautiful bomb cherry. Let's make sure we all give her all the great, beautiful, productive energy. She needs all the beautiful, productive energy that she can get. So let me give you all of the jazzy spirit fingers, girl. Ah. Get well soon, bomb cherry. Okay. Let's all give Bomb Cherry our sweet energy, our productive energy as she's about to go through surgery very soon. We all got love for you. We know you're gonna pull through. You're a strong woman, you're a strong soul. We got your back. And we're gonna have a good time today. What's up, Petro? Yeah. What's up, girl? You better. Good day to you. And this is what we got to do. We got to give all that great productive energy in a time of need of maybe not sure and uncertainty. What we do is give great productive energy. My name is Sharon Bracey, and I'm the host of the Wildest Wake Up Show. And every single day we rebel against remedial rhetoric, and today will be no different. And today, I wanted to a good day, Letitia. And I just, a couple of people hit me up. It's like, hey, can you cover the Met Gala? Sharon, are you going to cover the Met Gala? What are we going to do about the Met Gala? And at first, I was like, who really cares about the Met Gala? Do we even know what the Met Gala is for? Do we know why these people are showing up at this place? Do we know the theme of the Met Gala? Like, what is going on with the Met Gala? Why is it so important? Why should it be important? Do people actually understand what is actually happening in the Met Gala and what is it for? I don't know. I think it was an interesting year. What's up, Corinne? Miss MJ, I mean, Miss Jalen says she don't give a damn about no damn gala. What's up, Corinne? Yeah, sure, Empress. You are not important enough, sir. I am sorry. Miss J says just another day for them to get drunk. I mean, I'm pretty sure alcohol is involved in anything that, anything grown people do though is always alcohol and food involved, to be honest with you. It's rarely any functions for grown-ups to do without alcohol being involved. It's just not a thing. And so you ever notice how fashion is more than just clothes. Like, it's not just fabric, it's history, it's rebellion, it's survival. And this year's Met Gala theme is Superfine, Tailoring Black Style. It's all about that, right? So it's about Black dandyism, about how Black folks took style, something that was forced on them, and they flipped it into power. That's my opinion. And the book it inspired it all. Slaves of Fashion. So, right, that was the name of the book. Slaves of Fashion. Her name, the author of the book, is Monica L. Miller. And that book is like the Bible of Black dandyism. It breaks down how clothing wasn't just about looking good, it was about demanding respect. Now, if you don't know, like, what Black dandyism is, let me try to explain. So imagine a brother in the 1800s. He's dressed sharper than a Wall Street banker, walking down the street like he owns it. Okay, that's Black Dandy. It's about style. It's about resistance. It's about saying you might try to strip me of my rights, but you can't strip me of my dignity. And that's what it was all about back then. That's what it's all about. I almost thought about putting on mines, but I it's just going through what everything, you know. What up, Davey? Shout out to Davey. Davey Dix was actually the one. He's the one that's like really like, hey, I need you to do this, Sharon. Davey Dix was like, hey. He's like, hi. He was like, hi. You need to do this one. So, all right. Let's try to break down. It's not just about looking at celebrities. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about that. Even though I think, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so and I think that we do need to cover up some of these things because it's something that is kind of missed, right? So Black Danger, it started way back in like 18th century, right? When slave owners in Europe dressed their enslaved workers in fancy clothes to show off their wealth. Yeah, that's right. Black folks were literally styled like accessories. This is crazy when you really kind of think about the history of all this thing, right? But instead of just accepting it, they flipped it. They said, oh, you want to dress me up? Cool. I'm going to make this look better than you ever could. And suddenly fashion became a weapon. It was about presence, walking into a room demanding attention, right? It was about distinction, standing out in a world that wanted you invisible at that time. It was about disguise, using clothing to navigate spaces where you wasn't welcome. And most importantly, it was about freedom because when you control how you present yourself, you control the narrative. This is why we try to have these conversations and we try to say, hey, listen, our image is very important. We cannot just act like no, we cannot just allow people to believe that Black culture is trash. No, that's false. We cannot keep acting as if Black people are the most violent human beings in America. No, that's false. Our image is very important. And we cannot let other people control the importance of our image. We have to understand that. We have to. All right, so let's kind of like fast forward to Harlem Renaissance a little bit. Let's go right. So and let me know if y'all want me to dive a little more deeper into the Black Dandyism. Right. So let me know if I'm moving too fast about the things because I'm pretty sure some people that knows way more about it than I do, and I want y'all to be able to come up and hit the link and express and explain to me what's going on, right? So when we fast forward to the Harlem Renaissance, right, Black Dandyism was everywhere. Writers, musicians, activists, they all understood what that looking sharp wasn't just about vanity, it was about power. You had Zora Neale Hurston, you had Langston Hughes, you had W.E.B. Du Bois. They was out there just like royalty because they knew that when you look like you belong, people start treating you like you do. Right. And then came the civil rights movements. You ever notice how Martin Luther King Jr. was always immaculate? That wasn't an accident. Strategy. Because when you're fighting for equality, you got to look like you already have it. And that's what Black Dandyism was all about, using style to challenge oppression. That's what it was about. God damn, I'll be cooking up. I ain't gonna lie. Pink said that was her favorite era. Yeah, that was a pretty dope looking era, especially when you look at all the dope ass pictures. Make sure we hit that like button. Make sure we hit that share button. Like, come on, let's get it together. The only people that we got is us. We're gonna have to start controlling the narrative. God damn it. We can't let other people control the goddamn. Here's what it is. Let's hit that like button. Let's hit that share button. Every day can't be about, hey. So let's get it together. Show us some pictures. I'll be so goddamn demanding. It ain't even funny. All I'll be asking for a goddamn like and the share. Y'all be like, Sharon, do this. Sharon, do that. God damn it. I'll be asking y'all to hit the goddamn share button. Hit the share button, tag me. How about that? Ask me. God damn it. Show us some pictures. God damn. Let's talk about, okay, we will get to the pictures. I got you talking to Kinfolk. We'll go through some of the outfits that these people was wearing, break them down, see what they look like. It was good. Let's talk about hip-hop, right? Did Black Dandyism, did it disappear or did it evolve? Like, all we gotta do is look at it, like, you know, Pharrell, Andre 3000, Janelle Monáe, her outfit was crazy. They carry on the tradition, like they mixing streetwear and high fashion, making sure Black style stays unapologetic, in my opinion, right? And that's where this year's Met Gala themes matters, right? It's a celebration of that legacy. And let's talk about Andre 3000 for a second. This man showed up to the Met Gala wearing a piano. Let me get a water bag because I cannot pronounce anything. He came there wearing a piano, literally a whole piano strapped to his back. Huh? It was crazy. He had a whole piano strapped to his back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. And I was, you know, it was about him making a statement. You know what I'm saying? I'm here, I'm different. You're gonna remember me. Not only that, he also dropped the album called Seven Pianos. So it was kind of like a marketing scheme as well. So that was pretty smart of him to do it that way. And I think Black Dandyism isn't just about fashion, it's about identity, resistance, self-expression. It's about taking something that was meant to control and turn it into something that empowers you. And this is why I think it's very important that we push it out and say, like, hey, we need to be dressing a certain way. We need to be dressing our goddamn age. We need to look a certain way. Our hands, our nails, our feet, our clothes. We need to not look like we are part of the degenerate class. And it reminds us that style isn't just about looking good. It's about owning your own narrative. That's what it's really all about. That's what it's really about, man. Hold on, let me see. Where we at with the likes? The piano was crazy. You just like a piano slave? Damn. that was an interesting play of words, Bubba. I feel you. Yeah, style is like art for a good amount of people. That is 100% true. I agree 100%. And so that was like the Black Dandyism, right? Of that was the theme of the Met Gala this year. That was the whole thing, right? And so I think it was important. And when you look at the Met Gala and think like, oh, I think a lot of people don't even know what it really is. They just like, what the hell is going on here? Like, why are celebrities out here dressed like? Let me drink some more water. Goddamn. I did a pretty large workout this morning. It's probably why I'm so thirsty. Like, why are celebrities out here dressed like they lost the bet? God damn it. That's what it be looking like. Why is fashion solely about like wearing household appliances? And why does it even matter so much? You know what I'm saying? Like the Met Gala is supposed to be it's like the Super Bowl of fashion. That's what it's like. It's like the Super Bowl fashion. And most people don't care about fashion, to be honest. They care about who showed up, who didn't, and who wore something so ridiculous it broke the internet. And this year, it didn't really disappoint for real. And the Met Gala is officially the Met Gala is a fundraiser for the Costume Institute at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It's a charity event. That's right. Yes, it's a charity event, and but let's be honest. Majority of people are not watching. Think, wow! I hope they raise a lot of money for the museum exhibits. People are watching to see if someone shows up wearing a chandelier or a live animal. That's what they're there for. And the themes are wild, and just like how I just broke it down not too long ago. This year themes was Superfine, Tailoring Black Style. And it actually has some depth to it, right? It is inspired by Monica L. Miller's book Slaves to Fashion, which explores Black dandyism as self-expression through clothing. I'm pretty sure half the people and half the celebrities didn't read the book. They just showed up in whatever their stylist told them to wear. I'm pretty sure that's what happened to the majority of them. Do people really care about this event? That's the real question that I have for it. Do people actually care about the Met Gala? Let me do a poll. How about that? Bubba, you really think so? The gay folks? They do not design things that look good. They try to make artistic statements. It is nuts going to real fashion shows, but it's lots of fun. So, Bubba, you been to some fashion shows? Let me do a poll. Let's see. What are we going to say with the poll? Do you care? And should we care? Like, how do we keep these goddamn to be honest, how do we keep these things open? How we keep these museums open? This is a way to keep the museum open and keep things so we can keep having the information. I think in today's time, even though we have the phones at our hands, still people don't really research things for real. Majority of people, even though we have information in our phone, a little computer damn near in our phone, majority of the time people are looking up things for entertainment. They ain't looking up things to research anything. Make sure we're hitting that like and the share button. Let me see where we at with it. I don't even understand sometimes. Okay. We're doing great on the Wildest Wake Up Show. Shout out to everybody. We got 100%. Shout out to the dope ass supporters. That is we had 100% likes on the Wildest Wake Up Show. Thank you. And on this channel, we at 50%. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. I like it. But we can just hang out here. I'll be dropping the link soon as we go through some of the clothes and see what it's really all about. All right. Well, I think it's yes and no. Like, I think fashion people care. I think celebrities care. Uh, I think like all the social medias, they care for about like 48 hours, so to speak. But the average person is just trying to figure out why Andre 3000 showed up wearing a piano on his back. That's what I think. And the piano, it was an inspired jacket that actually it was really a piano strap to his back. We're gonna show it. It was kind of wild. And he dropped the album, like I said, it's called Seven Piano Sketches the same night. Then that's like next level marketing, to be honest with you. And he had a garbage bag too. I don't know why he had a garbage bag. That was kind of weird. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He went to, it's like him going to the goddamn barbecue wearing the goddamn grill, dropping the cookbook. But let's not forget about Rihanna. She showed up pregnant again. And at this point, she's making pregnancy a goddamn fashion statement. She's out here like, yeah, I'm glowing, I'm stunning, I'm still richer than all of you. And honestly, you got to respect it. Shout out to her and her man, A$AP Rocky. I doubt they ever actually get married, but you know, it is what it is. So what's the real reason behind this whole Met Gala situation, right? Is it money influence? Is it about who get invited, who gets photographed, and who gets talked about? Is it about status? And it's about all those things at the same time. But if you are at the Met Gala, you are officially in the club. And if you're not, well, you know, it is what it is. Who's the also had the queen of the Met Gala, Anna Wintour. She's been running this thing since the 1990s. She decides who gets in and who doesn't. Who, you know, you could be the biggest star in the world, but if Anna says no, you watch it from home like everybody else. So it is a gatekeeper in that shit as well. And like I understand like what Bubba was saying. So Bubba, he might not understand, but fashion is an art. It ain't just about the clothes that you wear on a day-to-day. Fashion is expression, and fashion is also ridiculous. Right? It's supposed to be ridiculous. And the Met Gala is where designers get to go all out. It's where they say, what if we made a dress out of mirrors? What if we turned a suit into a spaceship? What if Andre 3000 wore a piano? And nobody gonna stop him. It is dope. And that's kind of beautiful because fashion is supposed to be bold. It's supposed to be weird and unforgettable. It ain't supposed to just be the same mundane shit all the time. And the Met Gala, it definitely give us some memes and to give us debates and a reason to laugh at rich people wearing nonsense. Because they definitely are. Like your piano, for example. The Met Gala is ridiculous, it's extravagant, and it's completely unnecessary, but that's exactly why it works. It's a night where celebrities remind us that they live in a different world, a world where wearing a piano is normal. God damn it. A world where fashion is both art and insanity at the same time. I mean, for God's sakes. It's crazy. Like, I mean, Diana Ross had a dress that was about like, I don't know, two blocks long. You need about like 7-10 people to even hold up the dress so she could walk up the stairs. It looked great. It looked great. I agree. So that's what it was all about. Black dandyism. I don't know if y'all really understand what black dandyism is. Hopefully I explained it pretty well for you. So it was about black culture, goddammit. Hey, Robin M to be. Hey, what's up, beautiful? To be. What you mean, Afro Nerd? I know Afro Nerd knows a lot about black dandyism. So that should be I know this probably his subject. I know this theme was probably he probably actually liked this theme this year. You know what I'm saying? But nah, Robin M. I believe that when if you're gonna have babies, you might as well have at least two. And if you're gonna have them, you might as well have them back to back. If you plan on having how many you trying to have, you might as well have them babies back to back. It's gonna make your life easier in the long run. Having an age gap, It is difficult. God damn it. Yeah, that's probably true, Robin. But at the end of the day, well, you know, they have 3 kids, so they both gonna be set for life. So you know, Robin, I know it might seem like it's like if you already, maybe it is, but if you're already working out and all that, you'll be all right. So Kim West, I do not agree with age gaps being good at all. Nah, I do not agree with the age gap. The reason why I don't agree with the age gaps, Kim West, is because when you start putting them into activities, that's when it gets difficult. So now if you have somebody that's a 10-year difference, they got a certain class at a certain time, then you got like a little 4-year-old, they class at a different time, then you got a 16-year-old, they class at a different time. But if they all within the same age range, they all would be doing the activity together. So we could put all 4 of y'all in that age group from 4 to 6 or something of that nature. But when the age gap is big, man, it gets real difficult. It gets real difficult. Yeah, I'd say 2 to 3 years is good, Robin. Good day, Afro-Nerd. How you doing today? What's your thoughts on Black Dandyism?
Wow. Okay. So this really is my wheelhouse, right? So
I figured. Hey, did you know they was doing Black Dandyism?
I know about the Black Dandy exhibit. Right, there was a Black Dandy exhibit, I think, at the Met going back a few months ago and was written up in the New York Times. So I'm kind of a little shocked that they were openly highlighting the black fashion sensibilities, right? So going back to slavery, right? Let me quote this book. There's a book called Stylin, Stylin, not styling, but Stylin, right? I think it's by 2 authors. They're brothers, white brothers. I don't think they're actually white, but their names are white. So they were talking about, it's fascinating about where the origins of fashion come from Black Americans, especially. They said things like, during slavery time, when you had an off time as a slave, as an enslaved African, let's say it's church time, you had kind of makeshift churches and hopping the broom and all those kind of things. The slaves would put together, make things out of nothing. So they would put together all these kind of fascinating colors that the Europeans didn't quite understand what they were looking at. Like they saw these Black folks almost mimicking the Europeans, even their mannerisms. Like when they were off to the side, Negroes were cutting up more or less, right? And white folks were they were in wonderment of it because they saw how they were able to put blues and grays together, blues and greens. Like they put all these kind of plaid vests, all those kind of embroideries at that point. So going even back then, whites were looking in wonderment at how Black folks are able, not just able to put their cuisine in a certain way, but also how they were able to put down that couture, right? So it goes back back to that. Black dandyism, it is its own thing. So I'm really surprised. I mean, even when they say Black Americans don't have culture, it's insane.
It is insane
because you could have libraries on how Blacks dress. You mentioned it conveys messaging. Like how we dress is actually a conversation, right? Yeah. It's an explanation. And when I talk about comic books and Afrofuturism and Sun Ra and George Clinton, all this kind of stuff, all that stuff is mixed in together. The Harlem Renaissance highlighted a lot of Black dandyism. You have famous Black dandies. W.E.B. Du Bois was a Black dandy, right? Mm-hmm. When you see pictures of him, top hat and tails, I can think of so many people. Jack Johnson was a Black dandy.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I forgot about him. I didn't mention him. That was a good one.
Man, he was wild. I'm talking about
Langston Hughes.
Oh, Langston Hughes was a Black dandy.
Zora Neale
Hurston.
Yes, that's another good one as well.
I mean, it's Black culture is rife with Black dandies. You have modern dandies. Hell, love them or hate them. Kevin Samuels was a dandy, clearly. So, when I was at Hampton, I was pre-pledging Kappa Alpha Psi, and Kappas are known for being, suave dressers, right? I didn't go through the whole process because, when you start getting a couple of punches, I was like, okay, I'm not messing up my 3.6 GPA, messing around with these crazy people. But yeah, I would like to get, because of where we are right now, the discussion we had yesterday with AR, his kind of fantasy make-believe about Trump, this environment of being able to highlight these things, like the fact that they actually had Black Dandyism on display as a discussion for the Met, because normally I don't really care for the Met. I get it, but the fact that they highlighted the black section on this, that makes it a little different. It makes it different.
I think so, and I think your girl Dolce did a pretty good job.
Yeah. Well, I got problems with her, but I didn't see Dolce. I'm going to check out more pictures of it.
She did really well.
Janelle Monáe's usually a standout there.
But she did, her outfit was really good, but she didn't really represent. Hers was interesting. Like Dolce, she did actually Julius Soubise. Like, and she did him pretty well. Like she
well, I know there's a live streaming of it, so I'm gonna have to check it if it's recorded. I believe it's recorded.
But also she had a Louis Vuitton outfit. That was a Louis Vuitton dandy outfit, right? And I guess we could kind of say Dolce is probably like a new school version of a dandy, right? It's very expressive the way how she dressed. But also she was branded. She branded her face with Louis Vuitton, with the Louis Vuitton
symbol.
So I thought that was pretty interesting. What's your thoughts on that? Because like back then, also the slaves, like that's how they was shown that, hey, yeah, we all got slaves, but my slave is better than yours. Look how my slave dress.
Well, that's not necessarily the kind of thing I would want to highlight. I mean, under those circumstances. I don't know if I would go that deep into it.
But it's a part of the history.
It is, yeah, it's part of the history. It's part of the history. I mean,
what is your thought on that? That she branded herself with the Louis Vuitton on her cheek. I'm pretty sure it was a removable branding, of course, right?
Yeah, of course.
She branded herself on the cheek with the Louis Vuitton, with the full out Louis Vuitton outfit, with the whole tail and everything. It's pretty with shorts. Decent dandy outfit.
I think Tiana Taylor also was discussed a lot too.
Really bring in the slave component of the dandy, the enslaved. Not that she went a little further back, because most people, the people that do know about the dandies, they go towards the Harlem Renaissance time.
Right.
They don't actually go into the enslaved part, how the slave masters like say, hey, look, I'm better than you because look how how he dressed. They kind of skip that part. They don't want to. They kind of
something. You just reminded me of something. You just reminded me of something, right? That's one of the things that is distinct with the UK brand of slavery. What you're tapping into was touched upon in the Americas, but it was heavy to death in Britain, right? In Britain, there's even paintings showing how the enslaved African in Britain was finely dressed, right? Slavery had different styles, believe it or not, in different regions. Like the Caribbeans, they kind of had more of an absentee landlord thing going on. That's probably why, in theory, there's the belief that Caribbeans are a bit more industrious, because they were left more to their own devices on those islands, where the slave owner would be visiting, but he didn't necessarily stay with the slave, not to the degree that in the Americas, where you were up under the slave owner. And in Britain, there was, like, you tapped into this. This is true. The slaves in Britain, I can't say all of them, but a fair share of them were finely dressed, because if your slave was finely dressed, that's being audacious about your wealth. So when you say, like, look at my guy, so my slave is dressed to death.
He dressed better than you.
Yeah. So that some of that, look, I had a painting. This is, it's wild. I recently had a painting, and I'll put it on my Instagram page. The painting is called Belazaire and the Children. Belazaire and the Children, right? There's a Creole gentleman, black Creole gentleman out of Louisiana, who he's into painting. He collects paintings, and he just discovered this painting that showed just 3 white kids, right? But when he had the painting refurbished, they scraped down that painting and found an African American child in that painting who was he's finely dressed. But see, the deal is, this is the weird stuff about how blacks in America were treated. There's a story in that painting. The fact that initially you had the 3 white kids and this black kid who's probably related. You got to talk about that too. Probably related, probably beloved in quotes in some kind of way, some kind of insane way, right? He's beloved, so he's in the photograph. But when that photograph gets passed down as an heirloom, white folks look, I don't want this N-word in my picture, so they erased him. The brother was able to bring that that painting back to life. Now you see Belazaire. Belazaire's finely dressed. He's kind of by a tree off to the side. I'll put it up on my Instagram, Afronerd_radio on Instagram. But the original, you could actually just Google Belazaire and the Children, because it was actually highlighted. I think it was even I think he might have sold that painting to a New York museum. But Belazaire and the Children, it shows a finely dressed enslaved African that was forgotten and then brought back because they erased you. Tiana Taylor, yeah, she made some noise too.
Yeah,
she made some noise too. I'm not feeling her attitude. She said something about I want to get my back blown out in peace.
Hey, let her go.
Wow.
Hey, mama need a love. She need a love to let her get her back blown out in peace.
Yeah, but come on now. Damn. try to dump on Iman, man. Come on.
But she executed pretty well.
No. Yeah, listen, I got to give the props. Props. Pardon me. She was on point. She was on point. See, that's the whole thing.
Very well. She's from Harlem, so she had to stand up for that too, right?
And that's something that, again, this whole not giving black folks their credit. Fashion as we know it, right? Fashion as we know it really comes from black folks. Like the whole pomp and circumstance of fashion, when it goes to urban street fashion, talk about the billions of dollars that have been generated over the decades with things that happen on the street. The zoot suit riots, right? Zoot suit started in Harlem, exaggerated suits. Mexicans took it on the West Coast, and it became a thing. We saw it revisited in Spike Lee's X, right? The whole zoot suit thing. So the zoot suit to the baggy jeans to the unlaced Adidas. Think about what happened with Kanye West. He blew his money with the sneaker brand, right? But the real early beginnings of the sneakers was My Adidas and Run DMC at Madison Square Garden, where they had the whole crowd as they were singing, rapping My Adidas. They're holding their Adidas in the crowd. Then Adidas had to recognize that, so they got an early deal. So this whole notion of black folks being inventive, being creative, this happens all strewn through modern fashion. Hell, even what's the name out of Harlem?
About ASAP with the gunslinging umbrella. I thought that was pretty slick right there. I think he could have been a little bit more colorful with it, but I think he did all right.
Yeah, look, I'm not gonna. It looks pretty cool, to be honest with you. Some things you let slide. I'm gonna let that slide because he's still. I think he shouldn't have put on the modern jacket on top of it, but he looked good for the theme. It looks good still at the same time. And let me tell you,
I like the hand, even though you know how I feel about those damn umbrellas.
Well, I mean, we can just disagree on that. If it's raining, I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna walk with an umbrella if it's put downpour. I'm not gonna be a fool.
Hey, she looks great.
Is that the sister that was discovered at Howard?
I'm not sure where she's from. I believe Sugar Bump said this is Anouk. I believe that's
yeah. She's very, very dark complected, and she was discovered at, I think she was visiting Howard, and someone took a picture of her that was so stunning. Once that picture was set off, that was it. That was it.
She nailed it too with this dress too.
Black folks know how to put things together, man.
That was
no, we don't get the credit. We don't get the credit, but many Europeans to this day follow.
I do not even know who
this
lady is. Who is this? She nailed it too.
I can't tell.
Okay, me neither, but she nailed it. That is a. Oh, that's the little short comedian.
Yeah.
The little
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a short Indian comedian.
Yeah.
She looked different in the face. Like she probably did something to her face. I don't even recognize her. Okay.
But see, these kind of things are unsettling when you think of, again, you're able to have.
Look at Lizzo. That's Lizzo, right? Oh
okay,
yeah, that's
here we
Lizzo.
go.
Yeah, she looks good. Don't you dare. She looks
I'm not
good.
saying. Look, I'm not gonna say nothing.
She looks good.
I'm just, let's look. If she slims down the correct way, you know.
Hey, she looks good. I don't care. She looks good. I don't care what you say.
Even the Afro nerd can be kind with cocoa butter and such. I'm just saying. You know.
Hey, also, I want to hey, Mr. Seven, we just conversing right now. You know what I'm saying? We just
hey, fat. Hey, fat.
Afro nerd. Look, I'm just say this, like me and Afro Nerd, we probably really respect this year's theme because like it's something that I used to dress like very. I have a lot of outfits that's very dandyish, and I used to always dress like that even when I was younger. Even when I was 25 and those things, people like, oh, you think you too good for us? You goddamn right, nigga.
Man, look,
like for me, I actually appreciated that they. Like how what Afro Nerd said, that I was surprised, first of all, that they even did Black Dandyism. I was surprised that they even referenced the book as the theme that they did. You know what I'm saying? I was very surprised. I was like, oh, this is interesting. I can get with this. And I don't think most people even know the book. You know what I'm saying? I don't think most people understand where the book came from. And that they Superfine. The Tailoring Black Style, that book by Monica. Her name is Monica L. Miller. It's called the name of the book is called Slaves to Fashion.
Let me know when you want me to tap in.
No, go ahead. I have one more thing I want to say about
I don't know. Do you know anything about? And hey, Mr. Seven, do you know anything about Black Dandyism and the history towards it and everything like that?
All right, so no, but what I am gonna say, no, I don't. And salute. You already know, Sharon. All right. Salute. What's going on? What's that? Oh yeah, Afro Nerd. What's going on, bro?
Hey man, what's going on?
Sorry, but look.
I'm all right, bro.
Hey, look at Whoopi. Oh my. Okay, girl.
Sharon.
I'm sorry. She cooked right there. She looks good.
Yeah, boy. She looks like good. She looks like a magician. I'm just it's okay. It's okay, Sharon. Listen, this whole fashion thing, don't get me started. Yeah, make that face. Oh, I'm clipping that. Sharon, now we gotta be for real, bro. Listen, all right, so I'll kick it off with this. So, brother Afro Nerd, salute to you, black man. So I'm hearing him say, we are so fashionable. So watch this. I want you to tell me now, going back on every outfit that you have, that you've pulled up, how many of these outfits are black owned? If we're so wonderful in being marketable, which I know we are. You want to know how I know this? Because I actually do hip hop. I do music, right? So I know that all you got to do is put it in a rap song. Why we don't put our own people in a rap song? Oh yeah, you'll hear Fendi, you'll hear Gucci, Dolce Gabbana, you'll hear all these names, right? Where are our names at? All we got to do is just get the largest rappers to go ahead and no, Sharon, we can go ahead and go there. Bro, the fact is we are marketable. I actually agree with you guys a lot more than what you're saying. What I'm saying is I'm just curious. I mean, I don't want to, my point is to land it. I don't want to hear no complaining about how marketable we are and everything else if we never, ever, ever choose to actually just market ourselves. The fact is we are the world's entertainment, period. There's no reason why our brands shouldn't be out there more than the others. You got the floor, sir. Why you chew your tofu? No.
Let me respond to this while you're
chew
chewing.
your tofu 40 times before you swallow, sir. So you make sure you digest it right.
Let me respond to this. So okay. So Mr. Seven, you make a fair point, right? That was in the back of my mind. Okay, we do need to see Black designers on display. Like the idea that we always kind of lend our excellence to the corporate brand, and then they go off somewhere else with it, and we don't necessarily reap the benefits of that genius is a problem. Like that is a problem.
We take our talents and we tap dance for them to make the profit. And we're nothing more than a mascot who really don't have no rights to nothing. Oh, y'all didn't hear about Floyd Mayweather? Oh yeah, all of this. That's what is in his name. Nah, look, he was just a mascot face. They own it. And that's how it always is. Hold on. Let me land it right here. What's her name? Mega Stallion, that whole cover girl, Queen Latifah, all that stuff. You think they own that? No, they just a face. Why we don't own it? That's my point. I'm just trying to get my people, if you really want to say woke, wake up, third eye open, as I would say. The point is this. Nah, we are there. We are that talent. We are the light of the world. I just try to figure out why we keep trying to be the shadows for somebody else walking.
Well, two things. I want to mention Dapper Dan, but go ahead. Well, this is the deal. Yes, two things can happen. Two things can happen at the same time, right? We have to highlight what we're seeing. Like I understand where you're coming from because you know the consciousness should always be the underbelly of all these kind of things, right? Because I do see what happens is we kind of highlight and create the bank accounts for the white corporate structure with our creativity. So that happens. On the HBCU tip, right? Ralph Lauren about 2 years ago had this whole deal with highlighting like early HBCU fashion, like tweed jackets and vests and like all that sharpness, and it was exclusive to Spelman and Morehouse. So Ralph Lauren, you Google, Ralph Lauren had a deal with Morehouse and Spelman.
Afro nerd, like real talk. At least while I'm up here, Brody, respect to you, like directly. So I'm gonna ask you this direct question. I want you to focus and hone in. I want you to have tunnel vision. Don't go nowhere else. Why is it that we are known, like you just said, we are very fashionable? Then why don't we have our own fashions on the forefront? We know they exist. I do. I got a couple of items right now. I can go get a coat and everything. It's from people from right here, DMV area, solidified, people. We got Hobo. We got Madness. Bro, I remember all these days, dog. I know what it's like to support our own. Hold on. My point is to shut up.
I think what you're missing, right?
My bad. Go ahead. You on delay, Sharon. Go ahead.
The part that you're missing that. Okay. The problem is that we don't own fashion houses is the issue. It's not about owning a fashion clothing company, right?
Thank you.
People don't even understand what is a fashion house versus a fashion clothing company, and it costs a lot of money to get into the fashion house situation. So it's
money we have.
We don't know the
money that we have. We have the money. We do. That's the problem. We keep saying we don't. We do. We got more than enough. That's the problem.
Well, hold on.
We do have it. We choose not to give it. We choose not to utilize it on that.
Hold on.
See hood street niggas that got videos and they got stacks rolling money down their arms. What you think the real business people that us of us do? Stop playing with me. We got the money.
Well, wait.
We choose not to utilize it for what it needs to be used for.
I hear what you're saying, right? But we have to be honest on a few things, right? there are people doing some stuff that it's up to streamers, it's up to regular Black folks to pass the word around. Because I know even on Instagram, you see Black folks actually creating their own clothes, and some of the celebrities are low key promoting them. Right? I just bought an HBCU sweater, like this fly like HBCU line of embroidered sweaters and vests and turtlenecks. I just tripped over this brother, right? Somewhere in Atlanta, Black owned, right? Spike Lee, like I saw another cat in Brooklyn. He's kind of on the come up where he's got a small store, and he's got these coats that you can wear like in 2-3 different ways, right? The coat can turn into a bag. You know, literally, the coat can turn into like a satchel, right? So I see Spike Lee is wearing this man's clothing. So we because we don't know this stuff, we act like it's not being done. There's some brothers that created a $750 million app valuation, barbershop app, just to schedule barbershops and run your barbershop. 2 Black brothers. They got it rejected 150 times from venture capitalists. The 151st time they got that money. Bruh, but hold on. No one many of us we don't talk about these people, right? So, and also I found out is that even when you talk about these fashion houses that we think own their stuff, Gucci, I think is going through a merger now. These high names don't necessarily own their stuff either. They're just white and at a higher level. You know what I'm saying? So we can't assume that all these white corporate brands it doesn't work the way you think it works. No, not exactly.
Right. And so that's why I was talking about. This is why I wanted to get into the fashion house situation, right? And understand how long it took for the owners that own Louis and now Gucci and all these other brands. There's really one company owning all of these brands that we see. It's one company.
It's the really umbrella. It's the umbrella.
Gucci's going through a merger. What's that?
So this is the part of the fashion house part of the issues that we don't own no textile factories over here in America, and that makes it difficult. Like, so to get the fabrics and make the fabrics, and then so if I have my own fashion house, and then now Mr. Seven want to start his clothing, now I could get ahead and front you the fabric so you could make the design. That's where we are missing at. But if we just skim past the fact that we got to start somewhere, and it probably starts with these kind of conversations and saying, hey, remember your history. Remember that where these suits come from. This whole style shit is not just about looking good. It is a statement to say, hey, this is why Langston Hughes, W.E.B. Du Bois, and all these other names that we named earlier, it was very important for them to look a certain way. So this way, I'm not just asking you for my equality. I also look like my equality. You cannot give it to me. I'm doing this. So it's very important that we understand that where it came from and how it started. That at one point, even when they was enslaved, right? And they said they was dressing up their own slaves to look better than, everybody else. They took it upon themselves, said, I'm going to up it even higher. And they started doing all these new cuts and how the suits look and the hats and all these other things. We did all that shit. And so once we start realizing where we come from, we can start respecting ourselves a little bit more and stop trying to make it seem like we could only do street and urban wear. No, we actually do fashion. We are not just streetwear. We are not urban. And the problem is that a lot of the people that are attempted to be fashion icons that's on the come up, most people would say, I don't rock with that shit. It looks this. It looks like this. It looks like that. They want to put on a goddamn Nike Tech outfit and keep it moving. I mean, we'll clown somebody. Like me and Afro would have to, when we go outside, they would say, where you going? Motherfucker, I'm hanging out with you. What you mean? I don't gotta be going nowhere because I look good. I look good because I'm good.
Sharon.
And that's the issue. And we gotta change that mentality and give back the power to the people. And then therefore we can start it from conversation to wearing the clothes to now eventually somebody would develop that powerhouse and not just strike.
Sharon. I mean, that's facts. Now watch this. Bow. I digress. My mic is muted. We on that level, bruh. I understand what you're saying. Yes, I know what you're talking about. All right. So just as one of our own, I just want to make that clear. My point
Yeah,
is
no,
that
I think it was a great question to set up so you can get the answer
you know
that
what
you
I'm
already had in
saying.
mind.
So,
You wanted, I understood you right away.
I know
knew
you
you
do,
wasn't
Sharon.
trying
I
to.
know.
Okay.
You tapped in.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
all right. You know what I'm saying? You might not be
Let me walk,
honest about tapping in, but you do tap
let me
in.
welcome
You know what I'm
into
saying?
the show somebody. I'm gonna welcome Chicago Real into the show. I know he's most likely somebody that absolutely knows about Black Dandyism. Welcome to the show, Chicago Real. Hopefully he's not in a
Stacey
deep
Adams.
yet.
I'm not in the dungeon,
What?
man. Peace to the gods, man. I went out on a school night, so I'm done for. My cousin, I've said this on these platforms before, right? My cousin owns the only Black men's haberdashery on the Gold Coast in Chicago, right?
Ooh. What'd you say? A what?
A haberdashery. Stop that.
Haberdashery.
Stop that.
Okay.
I'm so proud of that Joker,
I
man.
like
We
it.
turned up last night, man. And listen, I didn't even drink. I was on Club Soda and Lime last night, right? But man, we celebrated them so hard because they got a feature write-up in New York Times, right? It's a made-to-measure article that highlighted them.
Too, by the way, you gotta send me those type of things too.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a bet. Man, listen.
Because like you be connected because maybe we could start. I could start doing these like how Mr. Seven said, not to cut you, but so this way we could start doing interviews with people that's doing these things. So we could that we're not having people doing these things. We have people doing these things. We just not privy to the history behind it and the people that are expecting to move forward. Right. So like I thought it was brilliant. That's why I was like, you know what? I will do the Met Gala because at first when they was sending me, hey, Sharon, do the Met Gala, I was like, I don't know.
I asked you, was you gonna cover
the theme
it?
was, I was like, oh,
yeah, that's why I was asking you, was you gonna cover it? Yeah. And to your point, when you talk about Black Dandyism, right? I think the sister name is Monica Miller that wrote that book, right? That is
a fact. And Monica L. Miller, yes.
Yeah, the one I just showed 2 books that I have. I don't have hers yet, but I've been kind of like deep diving into it since I started a thing for it. But I have the Dandy line, the Black Dandy and Street Style, and then another one is the way we wore Black Style then, right? And so the way that we would dress is an act of resistance. Right, it is an act of when they put us in a box and say, "Oh, you're a savage," or "You're this and that," and then we come and show you refined style, and then elevate it to another level, right? Shout out to the brother Law, man. The quote that's running around, and I think he's from the crib, but the quote that's running around is like, "They done effed up and that turned the Met Gala black." Right, that's us in all of our excellence, unapologetic. One other quick thing, just to Smitty's point, there are, I'm not gonna say fashion houses, but you have the Dapper Dans, right? With his partnership with Gucci, and he has the Atelier in Harlem. But Dapper Dan never went away. He was there the whole time. Matter of fact, he talks about how Floyd Mayweather is one of the major contributors that kept him afloat during the time that he had to go underground. And so, similar to my cousin with his haberdashery, you have all types of tailors and alteration spots in your city that we don't frequent because we say, "Oh, it's black, so the product or the quality is inferior." But you know who's frequenting those places more than us? The people that don't look like us. That's for my cousins on the Gold Coast. The people that don't look like us stay in these shops, man.
But I think
how you feel about this jacket, by the way?
Oh, 3 step. Hey, man. What video was that? Bombs over Baghdad. He came out with the shoulder pads, the football shoulder pad. Hey, 3 Stacks been doing his thing for a minute, but you know what I thought was genius too? He surprise dropped another album yesterday. So that's what that piano represents.
Hey, hold on. Rilla.
What's it called? Seven silhouette keys or something like that.
I'm about to type that shit in now.
Yeah.
7 pianos.
I'm about to type it in now. I'm dead ass now.
So
let me walk up to the show. Yes, let me welcome into the show, Very Sexy Red TV. Go ahead, Very Sexy
Oh
Red.
snap!
Hi. Good morning. I don't know what that was for. Hello. How is everyone? That was weird.
What's up, Red?
Hello. Then let me say good morning before you start. You see what I'm saying? I didn't even do nothing. Good morning, everyone. How are you, Sharon? Good morning. Hi, Afro Nerd, Mr. Seven, and Rilla. Hello, chat. What's good? So, I think we're saying, I hear that some of us are stuck in the 90s or whatever, wherever mindset we're stuck in, because Rihanna has became one of a part of LVMH group, which was launched in 2019. So she is considered a luxury brand already. So she is a part of it. She is her own fashion house, and I don't think a lot of people know that. So we're not living in today. The changes are being made in right now as we speak. We're looking at change right now in fashion. Fashion is one of the, while black men are paying $25,000 per cheek, women are over here ruling the fashion houses over here, while men can't even take over football, baseball.
Damn.
The construction industries. But you see black women over here making, oh, that wasn't for you though. I didn't forget, I'd be forgetting for me. But while black men are running around talking about what black women are doing, black women are making milestones in fashion, in hair, in nails. Everybody wants to be a black woman, baby. Okay.
Can I respond to that respectfully?
Sure. I know it's gonna be a 10-minute. It's gonna be a damn 10-minute response. But but the thing is, I studied this. Okay, this is what my degree is in. Fashion retail management. So before you come to me with some bullshit, just be on your square. Because I hate when you people, especially men, try to discredit me for what I say, especially when I am licensed in this shit. I went to school for this shit, and I'm an Army veteran. So before you niggas come for me, make sure you come correct. Thank you.
Okay, so here's coming correct. I'm uncomfortable when you bring up someone like Shannon Sharp, right? Who, love him or hate him, you see he had become quite successful until this bump, this major bump.
That was his fault.
Fine. What I'm telling you is
so I don't want to hear it. I can say what I want to say. You ain't gonna check me, boo. What the fuck?
Okay.
I said what I said, and I feel how I feel. I do not care. So if you feel a certain way, don't. Hey, I'm just setting
watch
the record yourself.
Straight. I'm just setting the record straight. So,
ain't no record to set straight. I said what I said.
Great. Congratulations. I'm speaking to the audience, right? So what I'm saying to the audience, not really to you, is that it is not the greatest thing to disparage your men, because your men.
You're not our men.
Your men.
You're not our men. Stop.
I'd like to be able to complete a thought respectfully. I'm going to let you speak. You know, that's
these motherfuckers date out. And then when black women finally get recognition on the mainstream, now we your women again? Fuck out of here. We're never your women. You all always want to take other races of women and prance them around. That's fine. Do that. But what you're not going to do is discredit what black women have worked hard for. We did it the right way. Meanwhile, on your side, you're paying $25,000 a cheek. So don't tell me about discrediting black men when black men discredit themselves. Okay. Now you can have the floor. You got me fucked up.
Thank you. That's all right. All right.
Ain't no thank you. No welcome to you. Because don't sit here with this bullshit.
I got you. So what I'm going to say is I'm not looking at women, black women, as separate from me, because I had a black mother. I had a black grandmother, right? So I'm not into this whole separate kind of thing. That doesn't do us very well.
Do you date black women?
Yes, I date black women.
Okay. Do you date white women too?
We're not going to get into that.
Okay, we're not going to get. Oh, so you want to sit up here and tell me, or you want to sit up here and go pro-black on a panel, but you sleeping interracially, sir? Stop. And this is the bullshit that we've been telling you, black men. You out here looking stupid.
I'm just joking.
Because you want. Don't sit it. No, you weren't joking. That's the thing. Stop. That's exactly what a Karen does. I was just when they get pushed in the corner, they feel some type of way. I'm attacked. No. Oh.
Damn, man.
Y'all and that's why you belong with one of them. Because you don't even stand up for what you believe in. Even when I asked you a direct question, you said you don't want to get into it. You are not our men. You specifically are not one of our men. Because a man answers a question. The fuck?
A woman is silent. And
a woman is not silent, and that is the exact point. Any man that says a woman should be silent means that he is not comfortable in his masculinity. You want to be feminine and go back and forth with me.
I'm not really doing anything.
Hold your frame, sir. Get stoic or get out.
Wow. Somebody's off their meds. So let me talk about this, right?
Your mom's off her meds. That's who off her meds, because she must have been on her meds having your dumb ass. She should have swallowed your ass.
Wow, this is see, yeah, well, fine, having a fit. So this is what the deal. Black men are becoming black men are presidents, black men are governors, black men are senators. As I mentioned,
and look at the president we got now. Congratulations.
As I mentioned, two brothers. One was a Yale law graduate. Another cat was an MBA. Two young cats developed a barbershop app that's worth $750 million.
Y'all slow on the draw. Y'all should have been doing this shit. But y'all wanted to be rappers and podcasters and pastors. That's what you wanted to do. So I don't want to hear it. Y'all been on here dragging black women. Some of you, we talking about you Rim Bros. That's who we specifically talking about. You YTNs, you YouTube niggas want to get on here and drag black women. Meanwhile, black women are fucking running circles around you.
This ain't toxic. This ain't toxic. I'm just trying to figure. I just want to get the correct definition. This is just normal. This is like days. Just being feminine and quiet and demure and in the pocket. Is this what we seeing right now? I don't see any of this.
And you know what? And that's why the black community is so behind, because all they want to do is shut up. Because they want to tell women to be quiet. Meanwhile, they ain't doing shit. So we got to be like, mush a nigga in the face, move around, nigga, so we can do the real fucking work. Okay? The fuck around, sir. Nobody gives a fuck.
Can I get a GoFundMe for her calling me the N-word? Can I do that?
No, she just mushed you. You got to find the
Nah, man,
I just verbally mushed this man in his face.
What you did is you proved all the stereotypes that we.
Good. I'm glad because that, you know what? The stereotypes is the strength. The stereotype is the strength, because now everybody want to be a stereotypical black woman. Look at you on here acting like somebody hurt baby mama, nigga. Shut up.
You're virtually twerking.
Shut up.
You're virtually twerking in Sharon's Lululemon right now. Gotcha.
What did he say?
You virtually twerking in Sharon's Lululemon, even as we speak. That's what you're doing right now.
Thank you, boo. I appreciate it. Cute. And guess what? Cute. They sales went up.
The CEO doesn't want your DEI money.
And the sales went up.
Yeah, but
like the taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see it.
Thank you. Wow.
Damn. Wow. You on mute, Sharon.
Respectfully, Chicago, she wasn't mushing me. She's showing out.
Hold on for $40. Hold on. Let me read it. It says, drop very sexy for $40. It says, embarrassing herself. Drop her.
Damn.
$40 to bring very sexy back.
We talked about black excellence and black dandyism, and she wants to open up her butt cheeks virtually and show you what she's working with. That's what she did.
So what I was hoping you would speak to is that Pharrell is head of menswear over there at LVMH, right? You have a number of prominent black men leading some of these fashion houses, right? Especially once Virgil Abloh kind of kicked the door.
Yeah, I'm about to mention him too.
You can never forget. Who really kind of started Willie Smith, right? And then what's the other one? He just passed. I got his book too. André Leon
Talley, yeah.
André Leon Talley, yeah. The chiffon trenches, yeah. That was Anna Wintour's right hand.
Yeah, about to mention that. Yeah.
Right. And then
they don't even know the point of Anna Wintour, right? They don't even know age.
Oh man, they didn't watch The Devil Wears Prada.
Hey, that's an
You know
important
what I'm
name
saying?
to know, right? I
Yeah,
said it earlier, but I'm pretty sure I got glanced over. But that's an important name. If I don't care how famous you are, she say no, it's a
that's
no.
a fact. If you don't get that invite, hey, show up to that Met Gala if you want to, or any of
If
them
she
events.
say no, it's a no.
Yeah.
But we do need to Afro, do you want to address the fact that Rihanna, she has built a
With
fashion
Fenty.
house?
Well, yeah. Look, there's a number of high-profile celebrities, low key, who get these deals and are able to become billion-dollar brands, right? Kanye had that until that's the problem, is where Mr. Seven has may be onto something, is that you think they have some of this money, and then certain folks can come in and you speak incorrectly about that ethnicity, they take that $1 billion. You lost $2 billion in valuation in 48 hours.
And got it
So
right back though. Got it right back. Got it right back.
I don't. Is that true? He said he's worth like 400 million. He ain't really saying he's 2 billion.
Afro nerd. But wait, all right. So, brother,
And Adidas cut him off.
Wait, hold on. Before we ask the question, let's not move off of the fashion house, because
we're not moving off of that. It is directly
very
what he
sexy,
said.
very sexy, right? She made a great point that this is a woman that she's actively steal a fashion house, because like you mentioned, Kanye, he was on the verge of really having that fashion house, because he asked for them to build him these warehouses and all these things that are part of the branded deal, but he never actually got to complete it. And it seems like Rihanna is business savvy enough and smart enough not to be on social media destroying her own brand, so to speak.
Well, you know something too. When she
hold on,
hold on. I want to.
You
got my point.
No, hold on for a second, bro. Share the floor, man. Share the floor. Thank you. God damn. I want to ask my brother really, because I don't want to get too far, man. Shit you say, man, we'll be by Mars in 5 minutes, man. Hold on.
Wow.
Brother Rilla. So when you said we'll get it right back, right? I have this question, and to what Sharon was saying, that I think we all acknowledge. My main premise is, when you say we'll get it, yeah, he got it right back. Why should we worry about getting right back what should have been ours, owned in the first place, that we never should have lost?
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, bro. Rock out, my G.
Yeah, because my statement was that Kanye got it right back. And then the reason why I made that statement is because we can only deal with what is, right? So I can agree that it should have never been taken from him. I can agree that Adidas made a dumb mistake. All they had to do was what Nike did with what's old boy named Tiger Woods, right? When he called this case, they just laid low, just go somewhere, be quiet for a minute, chill out, right? And it would have blew over. But realize and understand, when they severed ties with Kanye, they lost 3% of their business, which in that world, that's heavy. Like, and it's a game of inches, because you're competing with Nike. Nike is still the number one brand, right? So they couldn't afford to take that hit, and they still haven't recovered. But with Ye, I think the lesson is, aside for this latest meltdown, which is just terrible, that dude went to direct to consumer. Everybody abandoned him. And he went and did exactly what he was telling Sway, right? He went, not Sway, what Sway was telling him to do, which was go independent. So he put out 2 albums that charted very well, right? Unbeknownst to some people, right? But to his core audience, he tapped into that core audience and made it right back. There's something to be said from that. So, I can agree that it shouldn't have been never taken from him to begin with, but how do you respond in the face of adversity? And I think that's the lesson to learn.
No, that's a great point. Great point.
That is a great point.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you.
That is a very great point. I enjoyed that. Very awesome.
I just want to mention something quickly.
Get
out. One more name.
Go ahead on your rant, nigga. Go ahead on your rant.
Oswald.
All right. So I didn't get a chance to quote unquote rant because of very sexy being interruptive. So I never got a chance to say anything. Just for the record. That's why I wanted to say something. Right. So I'm going to be very brief.
Still on that, bro?
Let him get it out. Let him get it out.
He's still on it, though. That makes us look bad, bro. Shit. I'm up here with you. Go ahead. Rock out. Stay stuck in the past. We try and move forward.
The past is like 15 minutes.
What happens if she not even here? But she not even here to talk for herself.
Yeah, but we saw. I couldn't get it. Anyway, I'm going down your lane now. So this is the deal. I just have an issue when she went into men not owning things, not doing this stuff. So we talked about the fashion houses, presidencies, being senators, being governors, right? It just in my purview, you know, my father's barbershop was right around the corner from Dr. Chenault, right? Whose son was Ken Chenault from Amex, right? So the CEO of Amex. I grew up around Black principals. I went to a Black college. So this whole notion that Black men, just because you don't know them, just because you can't see the air you breathe, doesn't mean you're inhaling oxygen. So when she goes in and all of a sudden, someone like Shannon Sharp, he's messing up, but up until this trip, he was another onward and upward Black man, and now he morphs into Black men. He's Shannon Sharp. We can't have people talking about Shannon Sharp or these lone Black men who make mistakes. Now all of a sudden, it's one thing for white folks to do that, but when your own women go into this bandwagon of you Black men when it's a Black man. No, I'm here. Ear and eyes of Spike Lee. I see Spike Lee wearing people clothes. We got to highlight this stuff. That's all. I land the plane.
Okay. Also, let me. I'm not sure what happened right there. Seemed like we got switched around. Also, let me bring somebody new to the panel. Welcome to the show, Phoenix Knight V2. Good day.
Hello, sir. I'm Phoenix Knight V2. I'm an Insulite Truther. How you doing exactly?
I'm doing well. What's like?
Here we go with the bullshit.
What is it that you like to bring to the conversation?
Y'all talk about the celebrities exactly. So what's going on exactly? I'm not here to start anything exactly because Sexy Red and them know me. So I was just wondering if I can come on here.
You said Sexy Red knows you?
Yeah, she knows me.
Oh, let me double check. Sexy Red, you know Phoenix Knight?
Shit! Oh, now you want to bring me back? This some bullshit.
Sexy Red. Sexy Red, you know Phoenix Knight? Very Sexy Red's not answering me. Okay, she said, "Hey." So that means I could trust you that you ain't gonna do something crazy, sir.
Oh no! I'm not those type of people, sir. I'm not.
Hold on, Sharon, is he cammed up?
No, he's not cammed up.
Nah, he should be cammed up if you don't know him, bro.
Can you hop on camera?
Don't take a chance, bro. Don't take that chance, bro. Okay, nah. She said he good, bro. She said he good.
Okay, all right. She says she knows.
Hey, be careful. You telling people hop on Carrie might see so you don't want to see.
You see, like he's a good brother. Appreciate that.
All right, I'm on mute.
All right, so Phoenix Knight, what is your thoughts on Black Dandyism and how the Met Gala brought some Black history to the Met Gala?
I've heard of the Met Gala before. I mean, they did some weird, crazy stuff. But I've not heard anything lately about it because I don't pay attention, but I do know what's going on a little bit. A little. I think it's outrageous. I think it's insane. I think it's crazy.
What's crazy about they representing a Black history that is kind of lost in our communication? A lot of people don't know why we dress the way how we dress, why the zoot outfits were even out there like that. Where all this sharpness come from? It comes from a time when we was expressing ourselves to be a part of society. Is one of the reasons why we dress so sharply back in the days.
I think the reason why we dress a certain way because we don't know our history too much, where we originally came from, and the celebrities, they just something else. They just do things for attention. But I understand what y'all coming from about it.
Sharon, if I may, just really quick, are you familiar with the term Sunday's best?
Ooh,
Phoenix.
I've never heard that before. It's my first time hearing that.
Okay, so how this would also play into the Met Gala theme. Sharon, I don't know if you saw the the clip of a choir. I think Questlove took the photo, but he was talking about vibes at the gala or whatever. There was a choir there, right? And they were paying homage with the choir being represented. That was an homage to Sunday's Best, where people would go to church and you had to be, I'm talking about to the nines, crease, clean cut, you know what I'm saying? Precision. And then because Sunday was the only day, if you take it back to, you know, slavery and antebellum and all that other stuff, right? Sundays was really the only day that they could get fresh. And we know that when, you know, what you wear kind of influences or has an effect on your confidence. So they would not only wear that, it would to church, it would spill out into the promenade and the celebrations afterwards and so on and so forth. So it's not like celebrities getting together wearing some weird things. It was literally a conversation, a fashion conversation that intertwined history from past to present, right? If that makes sense. Do you understand that?
Oh yes, I do. So
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. It wasn't just a
shout out
bunch of
to,
celebrities dressed weird.
Hey, Rilla, real
Hey,
quick.
shout out to Dancing Idris looking good. I ain't gonna front. That look good.
Did he have what did he have on the Tommy Hilfiger? Oh, wait, let me see.
He did his damn thing. He had a he
Yeah, that's the
represented
Tommy
the
Hilfiger.
movie.
Yeah.
He represented the movie that he's about to do with Brad Pitt, which that movie actually looked like it's going to be pretty good. And he kind of nailed it.
Sharon, stop. He got on a racing jacket with a football helmet.
So that's a racing. So he's about to do a movie about racing in F1. So first of all, he's going to be a black man racing in F1. So they ripped it off him.
So it is about a movie.
Right, that part was about a movie, but then he ripped it off.
That makes sense. I digress. My mic is
then
muted,
now he's
and I
back
retract
into
my statement.
Black Dandyism with the outfit. So and shout
out
shout out to Hollywood for having a black F1 driver as the main character in the movie. Shout out to that.
Yeah, so I'm curious now as to who's producing that movie. Do you know or who wrote it?
I don't know who wrote it yet.
I'm so skeptical. Shout out to Ryan Coogler.
Tyler Perry. It was Tyler Perry.
Stop.
What? Okay, let me shut up.
Oh man, drop Smitty.
So shout out to it that that they even producing a movie with a black man as an F1 driver.
Yeah,
I think that's fucking awesome, right?
Yeah,
because
that's dope.
We do need more representation of just good actors. Sad that it's not a black actor, so I mean American actor, but hey, nonetheless, when he's going to be represented, he's going to be speaking the way how you speak. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great representation, and I think this is something that we need to start paying attention to because other people realize how much an image means. We keep trying to act like we don't see and understand it. This is why we got to correct our youngins when they looking under par.
Well, Sharon, also just to piggyback off of what you just said, the brother that just came up, right? I think there needs to be either some type of conversation or we need to have an understanding of what we're seeing, right? So a lot of times we look at things, and I'm guilty of this too, but I'm heavy into art now and all this other stuff. So the more that I look at art, when you look at a Basquiat, that's not just a bunch of scribblings and weird doodlings, right? And so I think we need to understand what it is exactly that we're looking at. So when you say, hey, other groups of people understand that representation matters, and we're the only ones that are, would say otherwise when we know for a fact it's been proven. We say not silly things. We use euphemisms like you can be it if you see it, right? Well, then that means representation matters, right? So that means I have to see it first, whether it's on the big screen, real life, or whatever. I have to be able to see it,
walking down the
right?
street.
And so when you look at something like the Met Gala, to me, the point is not to demonize and say, oh, that's a weird group of people over there. The point to me becomes, why are they dressed like that? What is the meaning behind it? And when you do the deep dives, then it's you don't have to like it, but it starts to make sense and put things into perspective. I'm on mute.
Hey, I would like to say something directly,
point.
please, behind that real quick. So Rilla, what you talking about when you said about the art, the very first thing that came into my mind, right, when you said it's not just a bunch of splats on a canvas. First thing came into my mind was, if anybody remembers, so I remember when I was younger, right? Like, you know, my parents, they took me to therapy to figure out during my teenage years and me transitioning as far as like just developing myself, figuring out who I am. I became real solitude and quiet. So they thought I was suffering from depression. I went to the therapist, you know, they put them blots in my face. Y'all remember that? Them black spots, and they like, what is this? Right? It's just like, look like ink just on it. And people would really, and from what I've learned through that study is this, to land it, somehow or another, us usually come up with a much more creative and descriptive depiction of what those blots consist of. And it's been a study on trying to figure out what is it about our minds that we see what we see and why. And a lot of studies have come to the conclusion that it comes from trauma. We are what we have tried to blank out and bleep out. When we see that, somehow or another, I don't know. For some of us, it helps tap into that. But it was just very interesting that you said that. I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
Sharon, one quick thing.
Yeah.
Just responding to someone in the chat, and I think we have to be mindful of this mindset. Someone was saying, well, why should we support people based on their color? It's this whole emphasis of, well, you know, this black thing. Blackness is not just a color. Blackness is a culture, right? You have a variety of pigmentations within the black culture, from very fair to very dark. All of that is black culture, right? So the way that the Asian man, when you go to his restaurant or you go to an Irish bar, right? That's ethnicity. That's ethnic business, right? So the idea that the black man is like the only one that there's controversy about the black man conducting his or her, ethnic business. This whole notion of, well, you're just supporting him because of your color. Tell that to the yellow man. Tell that to the red man. Tell that to the Irish man. Black folks, we have arrived. We need to get those ducats, right? Like everybody else. So I think I'm just correcting. I mean, you could think the way that they want to think, but I hear this a lot where we just downgrade the notion of black business. Like black business is no different than any other ethnic business. You got Japanese banks in America, but when we say black bank, all of a sudden, why are you talking about color, Willis? Come on, man. That's it.
That is I like that point. That is a good point. And that's why we here. We here to you know, discredit all of the naysayers about why we have to be the way how we gotta be. We gotta make sure that we're not allowing the rhetoric to keep on persistent. Like that shit is over. That shit is done. Like all this making black to be bad at every single situation is done. We don't give a damn about blackballing, right? Blackmail. The devil cake is black. Like, nah, all that shit is done. All those stereotypes where they try to put the image in front of us that everything that has black in front of it is bad. That image is done. Because we got human beings right now that is shattering that image that they keep trying to push out towards us. All you gotta do is start looking at the stats to see that, hey, we are going to college. We are not being locked up like that. We are not committing all these goddamn super violent crimes. We ain't the main one anymore. Maybe once upon a time it was, but now we need to get back to who we were as a people and start representing ourselves. And it is okay for us to defend ourselves. It's okay. You're gonna have to accept that it's okay.
You know, it's funny, Sharon, you said that when you was talking about the devil's cake. First thing came to my mind was, I ain't gonna lie, that color thing. I be thinking about it like candy and stuff, right? Like, so jelly beans, right? So Easter, what are the two jelly beans that are always left at the end of the bowl? The black and the white ones. The black and the white ones. We like blue, green, yellow, orange. We like, oh, everybody else. Them black and them white ones, boy, we just can't get with it. It is crazy. And it's wild how, yeah, even down to, you know, every other bird group is called, I guess you can say, a flock. Only crows and raven are called a murderer or killer of. I digress. My mic
That's
is
a
muted.
bar too. That's
Wonder
another.
why.
That's another great one. That was another great one. And like they did a good job too. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of them, they really look like whoever dressed them. They did their job. They did their due diligence. She looked good.
Whoever said not in my bowl, you sound like my cousin who likes the candy called Good and Plenty with your nasty ass. Ugh.
And here go the
Stand up,
beautiful.
damn good.
Here go the beautiful Janelle Monáe. This woman is very interesting. I like what she did there though. 2 different looks. I don't like homeboy wearing a goddamn skirt or a dress or a kilt, whatever it is that he's wearing next to her, but she looks good, like usual. Okay. Go ahead, Miss Baby Bump.
Hey, I was about to say, Sharon, we don't see nothing. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, you didn't have it up at first.
Did we see Janelle Monáe or we missed it?
Yeah. No, you didn't have that one up.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah.
There you go, Miss Janelle Monáe. She's looking good. Looking
Why
great.
does she look?
Go ahead.
The Riddler meets Sherlock Holmes. Look, Sharon, I'm not going to play these games with you today.
What you mean?
What's going on? Are you serious?
Yes, that's
what
that's
is
a
that?
good outfit. That is
yeah.
So
for the
Mad
Hatter.
Not right. So I understand that, but when we talk
Dr.
about
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, yeah, it is.
So I think the problem is that sometimes we miss the fact that it's a theme. They are dressed as a theme. So it's dressed to represent like this book. It was inspired by this book called Slaves of Fashion by Monica L. Miller. And it was a representation of how we as Black folks used to dress and how we got into fashion in the first place. It was meant to be a statement, not just to look good. It's supposed to be it's art. The way how we dress was art at one point. And then this is what I'm saying, that we got so caught up in Nike tech outfits and just want to be comfortable, we forgot who we were, how great we are. And not just having clothes on, but our clothes itself is a statement. And this is what this Met Gala is representing. And I think that's the part that is being missed.
No, I think the part that really is being missed, Sharon. Now, this is the ones, Sharon, I gotta go there with you on this one. No, we are the ones that actually have developed the term that has come to be. It's not the clothes that makes the man, it's the man that makes the clothes. We the ones that look good in any damn thing. So the point is that when you talking about it's a statement on that point, nah, bro. Like forever in a day, we didn't need the clothes to make us. We look good, butt ass naked. I'm just saying.
So that's what
we look good. Period.
But that's where you're wrong when we turn it into society.
How?
So because people that is at high status, they dress a certain way.
Right.
They get respected a certain way in society by the clothes that they have on. And so at the time when we started being the Black dandy, we had to create our own style to look a certain way so we could be, and it was so that you are not going to treat me
Sharon,
we was upper echelon, so I'm dressed the way how you are going to treat me. You cannot treat me like a slave that's working in the field, because I'm not dressed like a slave working in the field.
Sharon, we've always had our own style. We didn't have to develop anything after anything. If anything, we are the originators. It was, like I said, either taken or we gave it up. Now, so that's the, people will choose on that.
Right.
We've always been the trendsetters. We're the ones that blaze the trail. We don't walk the path.
So, okay. and the issue is, a lot of times when you dress with the whole 3-piece suit, majority of the time, Black folks don't know that we was the originators of it. They say you're dressing white. And this is why it's the importance that the Met Gala did this, right? So now they know that where the style came from. It came from us. So now, hopefully moving forward, men and women will not say, oh, you dressed up. Where are you going? No, this is how we dress. We look great. Stop saying we dress like a white man because we have a full suit on. That is not dressing white.
No, that's not actually. That's not. Just like, for example, I agree with you because I love music. A lot of us don't realize the banjo, ding 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 ding. That's South. That's African. That's like African. That's not white people country. So I get you on that. There are a lot of things that we are just not hip to that originally is us. There's no disagreement there.
And
right?
so, and that's what the Met Gala did this night, is that it shows that, hey, this is all inspired by Black people. This is not dressing white. This is not dressing crazy. This is not dressing outrageous in a negative way. This is how we as Black people express ourselves. We are awesome by our outfit that we was able to put together ourselves. This is how our look at me walk down the street. Damn, who made that? It turns
So
into
you're
a
saying
conversation.
almost
So,
like
so
Mardi
it's more
Gras?
than just it's more than just an outfit, is what I'm saying. And this is what
That's
it was
exactly what he's
representing
saying.
back then. It was more than just an outfit. It was, hey, look at me. It wasn't I was trying to fit in. I designed this. I put this ensemble together. What does your ensemble represent? And then now we can have a conversation of why I chose red, white, why I chose stripes versus vertical versus long, and all these different, whatever that person came up with. So it turns into a conversation, not just some wild looking piece.
Sharon, do you not know how? All right, so even down to like, so let's just take it back, like, I don't know, African garments, whatever, ancient Egyptian, tribal markings, whatever. Do you not know how symbolic these things are? So only thing I'm saying is, if we are going to do this in it to where it originated from, that's
who. To who?
Right. So my point is, when you're saying like how we're making these clothes, I get you on that. I'm with you on us being very fashionable, very creative, very like abstract with it, outside of the box, unorthodox. Bro, that's me, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like, I also know that things are symbolic. Everything that I do, no matter what I say, whatever my sign is, whatever, everything is symbolic. It's, hey, love, what's going on, beautiful? It's not to do it just to do it. My point is that when you so when you say we're expressing that, are we really expressing what is us, or are we taking them and expressing their art through how we are able to profit off of it? Honestly, really think about that, bruh. Is that really us right there? Like, I mean, in its fullest. I'm talking about like the structure of everything that you see. Now it's just it's just a question. We just having fun on this big dog. But like, real talk.
Yeah, so I think it's for most of the people that was there, I think it's a representation of a history that majority of people never even knew existed. I don't think majority of people, especially our people, even know what Black dandyism is and the history of it.
Even though they practice it. I mean,
And
can I mention something real quick?
That's
so there's
the
a
thing.
book.
There you go.
There's a book that's even going into where you're going, right? It's a book I bought a few months ago called Black Ivy, A Revolt in Style. Black Ivy, A Revolt in Style. So there's things that we were doing that when you look at it is clearly messaging. When you think of the Black Panthers, how they dressed with black turtlenecks and black leather outfits and berets, that became a fashion standard. When you think of how the civil rights leaders would dress, whether you were on Dr. King's side or you were on the Honorable Malcolm X's side, both these guys had such a refined look, but they were spitting hot fire while they looked that way. So it was very strategic in being able to look that refined and still call white people the devil. So there is a whole history, there's scholarship that goes into Black people dressing for a certain kind of message. That's it.
Yeah, so like you were saying earlier, exactly.
You know, that's so classic, man.
Before I bring you in, Happy, go ahead, Phoenix, finish your thought, and Happy, you go right after. Go ahead, Phoenix.
Oh yeah, also referring to what Mr. Seven said, I want to say exactly is there is a meaning to it, and also there's also symbolism with it. So I guess a lot of people don't look at like deep into it. There's a lot more meaning to this stuff that people realize. Yeah, I mean, yes, fashion looks good, but you gotta look in like, oh, what's the real meaning behind it? Yeah. So I want to regurgitate what Mr. Seven here, another one said on it. Straight up.
Well, I'm seeing Janelle Monáe in that. We know she has always been a part of her style and all of that, as long as we've known her on this scene anyway. So it wasn't really outside of her wheelhouse or anything like that. But remember this video she was in with the guy, he did the song Classic Man?
Yeah.
Remember him? And it shows you. And and that's what just made me think of it. But I used to love that song. I don't know how many of us did or didn't. Kendrick was also in that, right? But anyway, do you see his suit, right? You see everything down to the whistles. Classic man, right? Meaning back in the day, this is old. This is nothing new. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you're teaching the people, but I just wanted to throw that in there. But Janelle Monáe has always been doing it. Before he did that video, yes, Robin and him. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Yeah, but yeah,
Jadena.
absolutely.
Jadena.
I just thought it was beautiful. The whole project was beautiful. But yeah, thank you.
Okay. We
Shout out to Miss Kaylin. Hey, chat. Hey, everybody in the chat.
Okay. And I thought it was awesome because I didn't even know that's what the Met Gala thing was until this morning, to be honest with you. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, man. Like a lot of us don't know. I don't think most people even knew that this was the theme in the first place. I think they just seen people dress a certain way. It's like, oh, it's just a Met Gala. This is just rich people dressing crazy and getting crazy outfits.
It had been no buzz in New York, Sharon.
Actually,
or you just wasn't in tune, like
I wasn't really.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of things coming in. Like a lot of people was like, "Hey, you're gonna see Doechii," because Doechii was in Brooklyn doing a meet and greet, a free one too.
Oh, she is killing it.
And,
that little black girl is on the run.
They set me up. You coming through? And I was like, because my 10-year-old, she wanted to meet her, but I was like, I don't feel like dealing with. You know, I don't really be in the mood like that, but I got to get back into the mood of dealing with crowds and stuff like that.
Welcome to the old nigga club. Hey, we used to be out there getting it popping though, man. We be out there mixing and mingling.
I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? Really? Like,
let me tell you,
done that since like
my uncle.
Old people though.
My uncle is 68 and he made it out last night. And that's the uncle I'm telling you he don't act like no typical 68-year-old. If you go on my IG, I don't think I got a shot of him stepping. I took some video of folks stepping in there last night. I don't think he was stepping, but I may have got a shot of him. But yeah, man.
There was a lot of things going on. It was definitely a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
She was doing a lot. A lot of people was doing a lot. Tiana Taylor did a couple of things. You know, people was doing their thing.
Yeah, and she's always at the Met Gala. You know, when you think about it, so I didn't realize like Solange would be considered dandy. Janelle Monáe definitely would be considered dandy.
Definitely.
Of course, André 3000.
Definitely.
What's the old boy that be rapping the pimp talk, the Mac talk? King, baby. Yeah, he was there.
He was absolutely be dandy as well.
Yeah.
That's what's up that he got invited because he's really dope. He's toxic and at the same time, you know. At the same time,
so Pharrell was a co-chair. Was it Pharrell, ASAP Rocky, Lewis Hamilton?
Ooh, Lewis.
Lewis Hamilton, and I forget the other brother name. He's an actor. He was Mr. in Color Purple. Something Domingo or Camino or something like that. I can't think of it.
Crazy. I forgot.
Coleman.
Yeah, that brother was a co-chair too. So you have 4 black men that were chairing the Met Gala this year. So that's how some of those invites went too. But you know, if like you said, if Anna Wintour shut it down, it's a wrap. So that's a major thing. The faces that you seen there, that's a major thing in terms of having access and visibility. I'm on mute.
Not for nothing. I just want to. Well, it's 2 points I wanted to say. Right, as far as I get Anna Wintour, whatever, but we have to realize that she invited Ice Spice a couple of years ago. And so that being said, I was like, when that chick got an invite, but whatever. Who was the pregnant lady that was up here earlier? Because I couldn't see. You
That
have
was
the thing
Rihanna.
like real small.
Oh yeah,
That was-
Rihanna expected another one. Yeah.
Oh, another baby. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
what's
and
up.
that's what I was saying too, Happy. Like, so I think Anna Wintour has the list in terms of like the big dignitaries and stuff like that. But that's why they have the chairs and the co-chairs and stuff so that they stay relevant. So yeah, I agree with you with the Ice Spice, because my question would be, what does Anna Wintour know about an Ice Spice? But yeah.
Shout out to Swiss and Alicia Keys. They look good.
Hey man, they're getting up there, fam. In terms of that space, their Giants collection is on tour. It's in Minnesota right now. I'm thinking about taking that trip.
Okay, Usher look like he going to the Cotton Club.
Yeah.
And the Cotton
Now
Club.
he could get dandy when he want to, man. He could, you know.
All right, that they look great together.
Who's that? Toby Anigwe?
No, that's Gabrielle and Dwayne Wade.
Oh shit. I'm on my phone. Gee, I can't see it. Oh shit.
I do like the cape. That looks good. I haven't seen a cape in a long time. It looks good. He looks sharp.
Hey, these niggas will say capes is for simps. Saving these hoes.
Shout out to the quarterback of the Philadelphia
Jalen
Eagles.
Hurt.
He's looking good. He said, "Oh damn, it ain't there." He's saying, "Hey, I ain't going to see Donald Trump."
You know something that I just thought of?
Standing on business.
As cool as this Met Gala thing is, right, or was, where is the black version of this where we just kind of do our own thing? Like, we should have a black dandy thing separate from kind of white acknowledgement. Like, there's a part where Mr. Seven might be onto something where, I mean, as much as I enjoy this, as much as I enjoy it, and I like that people know that there's such a thing as black dandyism, we need to start having some pillars in our own community.
So here's the thing.
This we need to have this.
Afro Nerds.
Hoodie awards.
I don't know about the hoodie.
I'm just saying, there's just a lot. Yeah,
we have those things. And listen, I think we have to, when we having these conversations in black spaces, you know, just because, you know, the Met Gala is it's not like people are groveling, right? But it's an opportunity to educate people who don't look like us into our experience. It's not us groveling and begging for their acceptance and attention all the time, right? That's an opportunity to educate. There's a lot, and this is the thing that I noticed. I told y'all, when I go to these estate sales, there are a bunch of people there that don't look like us.
Oh yeah.
Right? Why? Because they understand the value. They do the knowledge. They do the history. They do the research. We too quick to throw some away. All right?
Look, I mentioned that quite a bit on this platform, that when we and black generational wealth, you know, indirectly, when I see white kids wearing Nirvana t-shirts or wearing shirts, you know, you see a 5-year-old white kid wearing a shirt with Mick Jagger, right? We need to have the black version of that, where you see a black kid wearing a Marvin Gaye t-shirt. I mean, I know we do see these things, but I think we need to highlight that. Oh, why are you wearing that old thing? Why
I want to see Booker T. Washington or W.E.B. Du Bois on the shirt, right? Well, same way they will wear Albert Einstein. I want to see that on the shirt. Appropriate that.
When you go to Afro Nerd _radio, right? Instagram, I've got a whole bunch of custom made sweatshirts and t-shirts with Josephine Baker on there. Yeah. I have I'm obsessed with Eartha Kitt as Catwoman. Right?
That's the greatest Catwoman ever.
No one can touch her. See, when we do things, we do.
Hey, Afro Nerd. Now I want to know. Do you like Eartha Kitt as just the actress as Catwoman, or do you like Eartha Kitt?
Don't do the Lady Eloise Sharon.
No. Well, okay. Let me be careful here. I didn't see. Hold on. I'm gonna give you an answer.
I knew where Sharon was going with that.
I didn't see what Eddie Murphy saw. Okay, I was like, old girl can get handled. So that's why I had a suspicion of Eddie Murphy. right? I got some stories on that cat. I got some stories on that cat, right?
No, no, the Eddie Murphy disrespect. No Eddie Murphy disrespect.
No, wait. He's
He
from.
did wear a
He's
dress,
from my.
Chicago Gorilla. He did wear a dress.
I don't care.
No,
He bought
it goes deeper
Boomerang
than
to
that.
the screen. Wait. He bought Boomerang to the screen.
Let me tell you. Can I tell you something? And I'm not trying to be Mr.
I don't care
Smarty
what
Pants,
dress
right?
he wore.
No. Look, I high respect for Eddie
Or
Murphy.
him. I don't care what him and Arsenio do.
Dolomite back.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
very
shout
good.
out to Rudy Ray Moore, man.
He's going to do George Clinton too. He's going to do George Clinton's story, by the way. Eddie Murphy. I didn't want to believe it.
No slander. No slander.
I'm just telling you a story.
Then you wouldn't believe.
Right?
Listen. I mean, we done heard the stories about Richard Pryor. No slander on him either.
You already got the shameless plug in there. Come on now.
Yeah. You know, look. You know.
Just stop. Quit while you ahead, brother.
No, hold on.
Slander.
It's not slander, but it's just a thing. All right.
Afro.
So I was dating this young woman, who was dating this young woman.
It's funny though. That's his name. Hold on. Bald headed in the motherfucker though.
This young woman, right? Whose brother, because we all went to high school together, right? Whose brother was a Nassau cop, right? Now, she told me one day, and I just kind of ignored it, that there was a dossier in Roosevelt, because Eddie Murphy's from Brooklyn, but he's also from Roosevelt, just like Howard Stern in Public Enemy.
What other fashions, Sharon, please?
Hold on. So, what she told me that her brother mentioned there's a dossier of Eddie Murphy frequenting transgender people in Roosevelt. Now, this was before he got caught up there on Sunset Boulevard. So when she told me that, I said, I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe it. When that story came out, and before it was like an overnight story, when I heard he got arrested, I said, I think that guy got tagged with the trans. The next day, that's exactly what happened. So I'm just saying, and it hurts. He's a homeboy.
If I have to live with, house music was started, by gay people or whatever, you'll be okay. Okay. No Eddie Murphy slander.
Well, we were talking about something that was so nice, and you turned it into this shit. Because again, black people can never have nothing and to be your own fucking people, right?
Back to the dandies. So, Sharon, so what do you?
Hold on, but I want to. He's going to answer my Eartha Kid.
Oh, go ahead, my bad.
Yeah. Eartha was awesome on screen, but also in real life, she was like a strong, proud black woman. She wanted to be seen. She said, "Hey, listen."
Oh, you talking about that interview?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm with you when I'm with you.
Go
when
ahead.
I'm not with your ass. You don't get to control who. She's like, a man. What? Give a damn about no damn man. I just want to know Afro Nerve, because she kind of kicks the things that the women kick over here on this side about saying, hey, a man ain't defining her.
Yeah, I saw the interview. I said, well, that's the beginnings. That's all I said. That's the beginnings. That's the seed planting. I don't know how it worked out for her, but I love Eartha Kitt. You know what I mean? Hell, we saw Cree Summer. Cree Summer's kind of crying on the camera, saying, she's 55 and no one wants to date me. So you get older.
No, that's not what she said. She said I could have did better. She's talking about with all that I know, I didn't choose. And
no, but she
was
said
reflecting. We should not be.
I don't date.
Right. But I'm saying that's the full context, right? You talked about how she regretted, right, not choosing correctly, because I think she has 2 kids. I just don't know who she has them with.
It's something about vanity. She said I worship vanity. She admitted I was vain.
And again, that's a moment of reflection.
Yeah,
you should let that breathe. That was very bold of her. And no Cree slander. No slander.
Cree is one of the premier voice actors, premier voice actors in the nerd space. Trust me on that.
Listen, even before that, she was Freddie. Okay,
right, and she is also in the purview of Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz produced a couple of her albums, so she's on that Afro punk black rock tip. I know Cree quite well.
That's not who she had kids with, though, right? I knew she was connected to Lenny Kravitz, but I couldn't remember in what way. Okay.
No, he produced 2 of her albums.
Shout out to Cree.
So, I know we it's not easy to get these conversations out in the open. Even though we having a very productive conversation, people still not exactly comfortable with just talking about Black history in a productive way. It's not easy.
Black
Right?
folks aren't comfortable with it, not just white people. See, this
Um,
Black Dandy thing is happening in
He's
the same.
talking. Yo, damn.
and like this is an episode that we should all be just like, all right, we hitting the share on this, right? Because we've gone through history and everything, having laughs, having jokes, we talking about all types of things. People like Chicago really is, he just went to a party that's kind of representation of this whole, how it comes full circle. Like, he using words that we don't normally use, like haberdashery. I don't even know most people even know what it means. It means something. And majority of people do not have a haberdashery at all. And he have a haberdashery business. That's what he got, Chicago Rilla. What is it?
Yep.
And I don't even
Right
know
on the Gold Coast off
what
Chicago
that is.
Ave.
Like, I can't even get likes on this goddamn thing. We barely, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just crazy when you think about it sometimes. The majority of people here are black. And even when we have productive conversations about being black in a productive way, it's so difficult for people to just hit the like or share. And that's right. I'm shaming anybody that did not hit the like. If you're a black person
right.
and you
Shame
didn't hit the
them,
like or the share, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
Literally, you should be ashamed of yourself. You didn't hit the like or the share button, how we turned the Met Gala fashion situation into a black situation. You should be ashamed of yourself if you didn't hit the like and the share. What is it about you that what did what he say, Chicago Rilla? Malcolm X, what did he say?
Who taught you to hate yourself? Who taught you to hate yourself? Yeah, to your point, why wouldn't you hit the like button? That's the easiest thing, right? Oftentimes we talk about supporting black businesses, supporting black fashion designers. Why can't we create our own? Where is black media? And you know,
this is the reason why.
Yeah.
And this is why, and so that, you know, like, I understand Mr. Seven's point of, hey, why we can't create. This is why we can't create it, because it costs so much money to even get y'all to understand somebody's being genuine or not. I got to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, be in the red for I don't know how many years before I can actually become in the black. Or I could be like Floyd Mayweather.
Talk about it.
Act like as if I'm in the black, but I'm in the red this whole time. Buy buildings under my name, even though and just act like I have it. And now I'm getting sued by goddamn jewelers. I'm getting sued by Xboxes that never got paid. I'm getting sued by this and that and the third, because I was trying to project positivity, but for me to project it, I gotta lie, because I can't even get my own people to say, you know what? We having a dope discussion today. We always attacking different conversations. We ain't just talking about Donald Trump. We ain't always talking about dick and pussy. We ain't always talking about how niggas ain't shit and bitches ain't shit every single day. I ain't talking about no bullshit that straight men don't like women. This is ridiculous. Got this fucking clown on goddamn Cam Newton channel talking about he wanna be a relationship coach, while he want a wife so he could go to swinger parties. Get the fuck out of here. I guarantee you that shit got shared at least 1,000 times.
Wait, Cam Newton said that?
No, the dude from tonight's conversations was on Cam Newton.
Oh man, you talking about Ace?
Yeah,
hey,
I was about to be like, send me that clip, Sharon.
Would Cam be considered a dandy?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Cam Newton is absolutely, he embodies. I don't know if he knows about it or not.
After the fact.
He definitely embodies that whole, you know, even when he got the ascot all the way up to the top and he got layers on layers on layers on layers. Like, he have so many layers sometimes. I'm like, man, there would have been no.
That junk gonna be wearing the football jerseys with. I'm like, God, dog, now you took it too far. But I hope that as a result, and not to interrupt your monologue, Sharon, but I just really hope as a result, people start to look at how we used to dress and the meaning and the intent behind it, and we can get back to dressing clean, man. Just stunting on motherfuckers for no reason at all, other than I want to represent me in the best possible fashion.
I mean, there's a meaning how those folks dress in a hidden meaning.
What's the hidden meaning?
A lot of things. A lot of things I'm not gonna get into, but yeah, they
So
do.
what?
put
So you
you-
saying wearing a suit or a suit coat or some wide leg pants flared out has a hidden meaning?
Oh yeah, including basketball jerseys. Yeah, it's a hitting
Oh,
meaning.
you saying the basketball jersey?
Sharon.
Yeah.
Oh, Sharon. You know I'm up here for you. I know it's business, baby. Hey, I love it.
Hey,
$40 is all it took. Lord. $40
hey, sexy
is
red.
all it took. God damn. Shit.
Damn,
$40
$40.
pieces of silver, nigga. Shit. Oh. I love you though, Sharon. It's business, baby. I get it. Oh, y'all thought I was gonna be mad at
Oh, this lady
Sharon.
got me choking. She said $40 is all it took. That's what he said.
Hey, why you make him sound like a passport, bro?
Oh, shit.
Well, dang.
Hey, that nigga in Bogota talking about the $40. That's all.
Hey, look. Hey, so like just said,
shit.
piggyback
I would
off
have
of
brought
what I
myself
was.
back, but I got a computer. I had to get a new computer, so I had to be my own
Oh
husband and be
shit,
like, "You
that
can't
is
spend money
hilarious.
like that." So
Hey, don't worry about. Hey, also to get back into it, like I got more people voting on if they care about the Met Gala, right? Than people hitting the like button.
I know you lying.
I'm sorry, Sharon. I disliked today.
Boy,
I did.
That's
I ain't
fine.
like that shit.
boy,
I ain't like
I
that.
don't mind
But I
that.
still
putting you in the
engaged. I still
blender.
engaged. Okay.
I don't mind that. Yeah, so like I have over 110 people voted, but I'll only have 40 likes.
Damn.
Those must be the haters. They don't want you. They don't like to engage because
Uh,
the engagement is what gets you. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
Hey,
Hold
And
on.
let me
Hold
guess,
on.
niggas said
Well,
they
you
don't care
have to
about the Met
minus
Gala.
those likes because us on the panel, we all liked it, right? And we all shared it
Uh,
already.
Hold on. I'll put a like on there. Exactly. Now I know what's really going on, but I'll push a like on there. Just,
Yeah, but if
just so
there's
you
Yeah,
know.
put something on it. Put 5 on
you
it.
can't do anything, please hit the like, share.
I just hit a like on it. That's what I
thank you.
did.
I appreciate it. And it shows how we are afraid to support one another.
Oh yeah.
It shows. But I guarantee you, if I was a representation of everything negative about
That's a
what I
fact.
look like, it would be easy to share.
If you was up here talking about them bitches at that gala last night was representing demonic spirits, it'd be up.
It'd be up. You know what I'm saying? It'd be real easy.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to recognize that. I don't know if it's because of the platform we are, or I used to think that it was the algorithm, but I don't think it has anything to do with the algorithm. I think what it is too, a lot of people just want to be a part of the club, right? So they don't want to start sharing and liking until you into a situation where it's like it's so high. They like, yeah, I was always in support of it.
You know what? At this point in the game,
if I start hitting like the 400 range, then everybody like, yeah, this the coolest spot ever.
Oh,
but that's why you have to just focus on you. You can't focus on them and what they
I
like.
do have to focus on them as well too. It's very safe, right? Because we got to break the mentality that because we are the only ones holding each other back in this society. Every time when Mr. Seven come up and he says something, he's very genuine when he's saying this. Why we cannot build our own, and they literally showing him in real time why we can't build our own.
That's why you leave them over there.
We can't even do what's free for each other. Well, if I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't do it in real time. Why he asking it, right? I think that was the most crazy thing. Why he asked it? Why we can't have our own fashion house?
Sharon, can you share my streams out more too?
I do every time I can. Every time I see you live.
I'm just saying. If we talking about support,
hey, baby, sexy red, I'll be driving and I see
Red.
Hey, baby, sexy red, I'll be
put your channel in the back chat. Just put your channel in the back chat.
Sharon, I'll be driving too, and I share.
You.
Hold on. And so like for the people that are doing it, this is not no shit. And I think this is another thing too, right?
That we gotta support
it's very careful, and this is why it's so difficult to even talk about, because sometimes the people that are actually supporting, they feel slighted sometimes. And that's the scary part about it as well. Like, you know, I'm not talking about you, Very Sexy Red.
Oh, okay, I'm getting ready to say because I didn't feel slighted at all. You know, just
Oh,
$40 was all it took.
There we go.
I just want to say, basically, it just depends on certain topics you do. I mean, I done topics on my channel where like exposing certain things and stuff, but also at the same time, I educate people at the same time. That's what I do. Yeah, sex red knows me shoots. That's how I am. A lot of people do. I didn't richly say where I was richly from. You add me to the panel. I'm richly from Memphis, Tennessee, but I'm living in Las Vegas right now.
No, go ahead and hit you.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
So I was talking
Yes,
about
ma'am.
Rihanna
I'm on the phone. My bad, y'all. I'm
earlier,
on the phone.
and how she's just
You on IG?
dominated the fashion industry, the makeup
I see
industry.
2 of them.
I got you, Sexy. I got you. Hold on.
My bad.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So
I see 2
on a okay.
What the hell? What the hell is
damn.
that? There you go. Okay, go ahead. Right.
So when it comes to business and beauty, Rihanna has dominated fashion, hair, and makeup, lingerie. I mean, because at some point, when as an entertainer, from what I've just noticed, is that especially when they start off as singing, there comes a point where you can't really sing anymore, dance anymore. You know, it's time to move on to something else. And I think Rihanna moved on to business and went into clothes and beauty and stuff like that. And I think that is such a great example. We're always saying, well, we don't have this, and we do have it, but we just don't notice when it's in front of us. She has done so much, but most of it is in the background, which is where you want to be. It's louder in the background, but it's so much louder in our faces. But she's done a lot for herself in her companies, and she's used different shades and different sizes of women to move her business along. Wow, that's crazy. But we're talking about business. We're not talking about her looks, and that's how they like to attack women who are really making moves. They want to attack her looks. She's a single Black mother too, doing all of this. So.
Hey.
Rihanna single? When Rihanna became single?
My bad. I'm not. She's not married. My bad. She's not married.
Oh, sure,
I do take that back.
technically.
Maybe they spiritually married.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the thing.
Yeah,
It's
try and run down on Rihanna.
Why her man ain't in jail though? Her man ain't in jail.
Thankfully.
Very Sexy Red. No, I share her stream every time.
The hell you do? But okay, nobody's
Hey, Chicago, this is what she did last time, and then she went and checked, and she was like, "Oops, my bad." She did the same thing last time. And then she went and checked. She's like, "Oh, my bad, Sharon. You did.
That's why I ain't checking today.
Sharon be sharing.
I ain't checking. I do learn a last time. I'm just gonna go with what I know for right now.
Red, to your point around Rihanna, right? And I don't think we should just hone in on her, but I think she should be acknowledged and celebrated. Brilliant businesswoman. One of the reasons why you are not ever getting another album from her, right? And then shout out to her and Rocky, right? The fashion icon that I think she's become. I would like to think that Rocky plays some part in that. And I think they have a beautiful setup. I think they got a beautiful setup with how they doing their thing. But shout out to Rihanna, because she definitely has pivoted. And I think for like artists and creators and stuff like that, they want to get that energy out. And so sometimes it's just not in music. I don't think I don't know that she has any music left in her in the way that the music business is structured. And you hearing about how Live Nation is taking a big chunk of the merch and tour, like all that stuff now. Man, stop. So shout out to her.
Don't artists, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I have to work on that. Except with Afro Note, because I don't give a fuck what he be talking about. But I'm missing. But don't a lot of artists have to take out loans in order to go on tour and stuff like that? Because they don't front it themselves. And that's why they have to sell merch and the venue and all of that. Or
Yeah, I
is
don't. Well,
it
Sharon may know a
depends?
little bit more than me.
Okay.
I don't know that they would take out a loan if you're an act that's hot. It used to be you went on tour and the record company
Mm-hmm.
supported the tour because you were promoting the album. So the tour used to
Okay.
be like for album sales, right? And then
Oh,
once they
okay.
found out they could turn it into a source of revenue, now you put out albums to promote the tour.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I don't know that they necessarily have to take
It's
out
probably
loans,
changed a lot with the digital.
especially if you got a dope promoter. Like if you got a good promoter, a lot of times the promoter pays to bring you into the city. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Yeah.
and
True.
so definitely, so at one time, tours was in a negative aspect, so it was used as a write-off. Actually, a lot of times, tours ended up in a red or just maybe flat out even. It was really to drive the sale of the album. That's where they really made their money. And now it kind of switched over to a different thing because of these mega tours like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Foo Fighters still have a mega tour.
Shit, Kendrick killing this shit right now.
And so now it's switched to now you selling this big tour and it's working for certain artists and you got to front out a lot of money because everybody got to get paid before you get paid.
Yep.
It's a lot with the engineers. That your engineers is on the road
Yep.
with you. Yeah, the
Lighting,
setup of your
stage setup.
stage,
Yep. Yep.
the fireworks,
Costume, choreography.
whatever
Yep.
you got going on for your show, and it's
Mhm.
a big city tour. And then everybody got to eat too. And gas alone for one of those tour buses, like we be complaining about gas, but the gas of a tour bus is like $3,000. It's just like a truck.
Cat dog.
So so they don't necessarily take out. It depends, like how you want to structure it. So you can either have the label sponsor the tour, and then
Right.
they pay everything up front, and then you just get I want 100,000 a show, whatever.
Yeah.
Or you can say, hey, I want part of the ticket sales and you get more of the money. Most people are scared to do that because, of course, the record label might just not pay as much for promotion because they know how much money you're going to make. So it's
And you know
only
what else they do? Them sponsorships on the tour. Remember the Budweiser Superfest? That was one of the earliest sponsored tours that I can remember. I didn't go, I was too young, but I remember the commercials for that. But now you have a lot more of those, right?
and that's definitely another way you got to get those sponsors. Sponsors help out a lot. That's what battle rap was trying to do when they had all those
Cigarello commercials.
right. And so that's when
Yeah.
battle rap was at its height. They had a whole bunch of sponsors because they couldn't afford to pay those guys. For real,
Yeah, that's
for real.
a fact. And they was checking the bag too.
And then, so
Some
now
of the
that
headliners,
the sponsors are leaving, it's gonna get a little shaky over there.
Mm. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just the sponsors leaving in battle rap. Some of the battle league owners, you get what I'm saying, have left. Like,
do they still have King of the Dot happy?
Yes.
They still got
They
that.
still have KOTD. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't get married if I had that kind of money. Somebody said in the chat.
Yeah.
Plus, like what Fetty Red was saying with the business side, she became a billionaire outside of music.
Yes.
Yeah, you ain't getting damn other album from that girl. The way Def Jam was taking their cut, man, nah, it's a wrap.
I think when it comes to business, you always want to think forward. Like because I know with me, my interests change. So I always have to think a few years ahead as far as, well, where can I go with this? Because I started in nails. Now I'm in something completely different. So, you start with an idea and an ambition for it and you make a career out of it. I may not be super, super successful, but I know my shit. And yeah, I do. And I'm also using what I learned in school with my channel. Like, it may not be on a mass scale, but I'm still using what I learned. So you never stop learning as well.
I think the most successful people in business, like either see a void or solve a problem, right? And to me that's key, right? So some of these people that create businesses, it's just an opportunity there, and it's not sustainable. They don't have a 5, 10, 20-year plan for their business, right? They don't have succession planning or any of that. It's just let's get it off the ground. Let's capitalize on these sales and let's see what we could do. That's why I also think that Kanye is a very interesting example because his business kind of lives off his name. But for some reason, his stuff is, it's still selling in spite of his name, right? But I think, again, because I'm thinking about Rihanna, and if the model or the industry that she's in is sustainable, if it's based on her name, right? Like, does it turn into Lady Eloise and she have to do a pivot and become Strange? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I think the most successful people are the ones that, are actively seeing voids and solving problems.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on mute.
And she covers so many shades, like in her foundation line. It's crazy.
There's a huge gap there, yes?
Yeah, it is. It's
For women of color. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think Smitty said, damn, I forgot.
Red, why are you talking in that voice now?
What do you mean? Oh, because I'm in business mode.
She checked to see if I was sharing her out. And now she
I'm in business. I'm in business. So that's my business voice.
You sound like you laying on your stomach.
No.
With your ankles crossed.
This is my work
twirling
voice.
your hair.
No, it's not my work voice. No.
All right, go ahead. My bad, fam.
This is my work voice, Rilla. Hey, that's what sells. Hey, it works. It works every time.
Finish your thought.
Yeah, I cut you off. My bad.
This is where I space out. I know. See?
Yeah, because now he put you on the spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta behave, right, Miss Jalen. I gotta behave. I gotta be good. I gotta behave. That's why my voice is like
that. Is hilarious.
Oh, now I don't have a job. What, I got niggas paying my bills? Lord. Stay out my DMs.
Jesus
but if you want to hit me up.
Hey, yo. Yo.
Since I don't got no, somebody said I don't got no job.
Is all it took?
That $40 is all it took. Sharon. Woo! I said, no, this nigga did it. But I understand, hey, you got to do business. It makes for great
You was
television.
talking about Rihanna and the gaps and the opportunities for, I guess for makeup, right? So how many brands exist in that space? You got, Savage Fenty or something like that?
Now,
and what
all
else?
of them have parent companies, of course.
Yeah.
So it's the main point. I think what Smitty was saying earlier is that it's either money that's stopping us, or I forget the other point. But what I thought
access
was
and distribution.
The supply
Shout out
chain.
To Venus Williams, by the way. Look at her.
The supply chain is not owned by us.
She was at the Met. Yeah.
So and now we're about to start seeing a lot of beauty products get hit with those tariffs. So that's going to be a whole new. Oh, I love that.
So here's the thing. Also, the Smitty.
Why did you show me this?
Who? Oh, good for her, man. I love her story, man.
I love her.
Hey, I love her. Remember niggas was on her head top a couple years ago, though, Sharon?
Absolutely.
She's so loud. She's too black. That goes into Kendrick Super Bowl performance. Too loud. Too ghetto. Right? Tighten up.
You know what's
now look at her
interesting?
stunting on you hoe ass niggas.
What about this one? Sexy with the buttons.
Okay, no. No, I'm okay. It's cute. So that thing is that while black women, we sit here and we do our style, we don't care what anybody says. Black men.
Ooh, look at that ring. Oh shit.
A lot of them, in order to be taken seriously, they wear suits in order to assimilate into the other culture, into the dominant culture. So I always think that's interesting.
Say that again, Red.
So black women, we wear what we want to wear. We don't care what nobody got to say. But when it comes, especially when it comes to business, but when it comes to black men, in order to feel like businessmen, they wear suits in order to assimilate into the dominant culture.
So and that's why
I would push back on that.
This is why it's important that they did this, right? Is because it shows that no, we was the original ones that created these suits that now Wall Street imitating us. Is not the other way around.
They've always.
Yeah, I would also say that when you look at again the golden era for me of hip hop, and you look at somebody like a Russell Simmons, the reason why you get a Dame Dash or Jay-Z wearing what they was wearing to a lot of those meetings early on, because Russell Simmons was showing up to meetings in a hoodie.
Okay.
Right?
That now
Yeah.
I can be honestly say that I'm not familiar with a lot of hip hop culture, so I could definitely be wrong in that. But
Wait,
that
what
is true.
part of the country you from, Red?
It don't matter. It because some people get
I've
sheltered.
heard
Some
you
people
know.
get sheltered, and they don't. Some people are sheltered. Okay, so it
Oh,
is what it is.
you Jehovah's Witness.
No, I wasn't even that. I wasn't even that.
I got you.
But
No, and I get it too, right? But yeah, he influenced a lot of people to break the mold, right? But I would counter though. I think black women do. I mean, the culture is the culture, right? The game is the game. Everybody assimilates. Every ethnicity. That business code, that dress code, especially if you want to be taken serious in the room, everybody acquiesces and put on, the suit and tie at some point.
Hey, look at your man.
Remember when they said Zelensky?
Look at the Balmain.
Remember when they said to Zelensky, "You don't even have a suit on."
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
he's like, I'm in a war.
Like, it makes no sense.
He's like, I'm in a war.
It's ain't no fashion show.
Hey, how you feel about this bag right here?
It's cute. I like it.
That's fine. Oh shit. Hey, Sharon finna put on the zoot suit this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm about to shout out to the team. Look
Who
at
is
this.
this?
Yeah. That's Shabuzi.
Who is that?
Shabuzi.
Country singer.
Country artist, yeah.
Okay.
A Nigerian. Oh damn, I don't know where it went. A Nigerian country artist.
Okay.
Wait, Afro Nerd, did you say you had the Eve Ewing Black Panther comic? You said you got that?
Yeah, well, she's your homegirl, right? Eve is out of Chicago. Dr. Ewing. Yeah. No, she's
I got a
definitely
couple of pictures with her. She's dope.
definitely in the blurred space. I saw her at the Schomburg Museum, where we have the Black Comic Festival every year. Something real quick I want to mention too about black men wearing suits. You have to be careful about that, because how a black man
I don't have to be
wears
careful about anything. Stop. I don't like that.
Mm.
If I say something, I say it. I don't have to be careful about what I say.
She said what she said, Afro Nerd.
Goodness. They always do that. Stop.
So
and then when I do it to them,
I wasn't aiming it towards you.
They want to put their hand in their fucking.
I wasn't aiming it towards you. I wasn't fucking you.
Learn
how
to speak to people.
It doesn't.
Stop.
Yeah.
Learn how to speak
All right.
to
So
people.
what I was saying was we have to be mindful of how black men wear suits. The tailoring on a black man's suit, that Italian cut, how a black man. Let's be honest. How a black man wears his suit can be different, and is different than a white man wearing a suit. A white man, you often see them kind of Slavic in their suit, but with a black man, where it's a small waist, wide shoulders, it's a little different. We can't
not
get
them Italian and British cats. Yeah,
that's true. Well,
them Italian and British cats be on it.
Well, you're right. But as far as black men and how they wear their suits, and you see a black corporate attorney walking around, there's a few. Like Pat O'Reilly, if you remember, would dress a certain way.
Right, yeah. He was super clean with it, yeah.
He was clean, right? But then, you got Walt Frazier. You had a lot of, when black men wear their suits, it's different. The 90s basketball players, I can't speak for the cats now, but those 80s and 90s guys, were clean.
Yeah,
they were clean.
Yeah. Yeah. And so also when you talk about the tailoring, right, that was the theme, superfine tailoring. That was the theme specifically.
I see very few white guys. There are a few white guys that I see, okay, he's got it. But that, brothers on how they wear their suits, what happens, a white man ends up following that trend.
Hey,
black man just ain't wearing a suit now. It's not that easy.
When I was out last night, right, I said, damn, I got to step my shit up, dog. I said, damn. Hey, my wife was...
You was clean, but they was clean.
Man, their mother, them jokers was, again, my cousin, he does the tailoring, so most of the people in there had work from him. You see what I'm saying? And and then listen, when we talk about the black economy or the ecology, right, of how a dollar circulates, another designer or a custom tailor over there on 71st and State, he came in support, of my cousin them, right? But I was looking at my pants, I said, damn, I need to get my shit hemmed up, man. Like I'm out here tweaking. I'm going through my closet like,
My,
damn,
my
I
goddamn
gotta
pants
take
is
all
going
these to the
past.
tape.
My pants
Yeah,
going past
man.
my ankles and shit. What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah. We might have to start dressing fresh on Sundays just cuz, nigga.
That's the one thing I have to say when I see some young cats. They don't, they wear the pants. The hem is too long. They don't have it tight. How you wear a suit is everything. And sometimes we talk about Kevin Samuels, and someone said, "Well, what made him a dandy?" He was a stylist. Half of his appeal really was how well he wore those suits. He knew, he was a capo also. All that stuff was not accidental. So you may not like the guy's messaging, but what he represented, yeah, he was a dandy, definitely.
Dandyland. Let's go. Thank you for that intermission.
Interesting. And now I'm sitting up here thinking about that. So wait, so then when we say James Bond, I know it's a fictional character, but we know he wore the suit. So we say James Bond was a dandy, and I'm not talking about black dandy. I'm just saying dandy overall.
Right.
Definitely.
Wait,
right.
James Bond? I don't know.
You don't think
So are we saying anybody in a fine tailored suit is a dandy?
Well,
right, exactly. You see how slippery slope that is? He was just talking about transgenders earlier, and this is what I'm talking about when it's down low men that like to get in these conversations and disrespect black women, but straight men can never see it. Whatever. I'm going on mute.
Yeah, thank you. So with James Bond, look, James Bond had that Aston Martin.
Yeah.
He would talk about the martini shaken, not stirred.
Yes.
His whole thing. James Bond has a whole history. This is the nerd thing. James Bond is in kind of superhero spy thrillers. There's a whole way how you look as a spy. You were clean when he was wearing a tuxedo, right? That was Sean Connery. To be honest, was clean. There's the
greatest James Bond ever.
Exactly. There's a few cats.
Slap a bitch too. Don't forget that.
There's a few cats.
Hey, he was gonna slap Barbara Walters.
because I love 60s spy thriller. It's like a whole thing on 60s spy movies, right? So everybody in that, there was Dean Martin.
Talk with this heavy ass tongue. Damn, hurry up. Let the real men speak. I'm just saying, like, ugh. The voice is so ugh. Fuck that. Like, hurry up. Go, girl. You got it, girl. My bad, girl. Go ahead, Afro girl. Go ahead, Afro girl.
Yo, that is insidious.
Is just dragging all over that mic. Lord.
That is insidious.
What?
I'm just trying to think. Like, I'm literally sitting here thinking, like, okay, was Kevin Samuels a dandy? I gotta think on that one.
He was a lover of men because he said that shit from his own mouth.
What? He said what?
Kevin said he was a dandy himself?
No, he didn't. Never mind.
All right.
No, he said he was a lover of men.
Who was the lover of men?
She said Kevin Samuels said out his own mouth he's a lover of men.
Never mind.
What did he say? What he
That's
say?
what I'm
No,
saying.
don't stop it. We talking about business, Sharon. You want to talk about business? Let's talk about business and dandyism. The show's not about these niggas internet daddy, okay? Because they're gonna get mad.
Well, we talked about
fashion, right? So I will say this: smoking stack with dandies.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We definitely saw that. I was want to talk quickly.
I'm glad you brought it back to that Chicago Rilla, because that's one thing I didn't point out the other day, right? Remember, I think they did do the tribute to Malcolm X with that whole "get your hand out of my pocket" thing. Remember?
Oh, I peeped that. You know what? I was sitting there. I gotta go see it again, man, because I peeped that, and
I was like, "Oh snap!" I said, "Really?
This is crazy. This movie is finna live for a minute, Sharon." Because I was talking about it at work yesterday. Because I was trying to figure out, we have all these conversations about Black Christians that walked out of the movie theater. So there's a girl at my job that's Christian. I wanted if she had that same experience because she identified as a believer, and she was like, "Nah, I thought it was a great piece of art." And we went over extracting all of the nuances of it was an interesting conversation. Nonetheless, I think this movie finna live for a minute, and I got to go back and see it again. Damn.
I do.
Oh,
You know
they
what?
They are
I didn't.
opening it back up to IMAX May 15th for a whole week. So
I didn't
those
Hey,
of
the
think.
you who missed,
closest screen that I could go see it on, and how he originally intended to be seen, is in Indianapolis. That's a 2.5-hour drive from here.
goddamn.
Yep.
They got,
I mean,
remember they got those fashions from Chicago's and then they brought it down there. And that's
Listen,
what's so
I
cool
love
about
that
being
they
black.
included the Pullman. See, most
Yes.
people didn't peep the Pullman rail car in there. That I
Mm-hmm.
got a chance to educate somebody on the Pullman porters yesterday.
What
Like I
is
said,
that?
it
I
was a
don't know
dope
what that
conversation.
is.
So the Pullman rail, George Pullman designed these rail cars. They were luxury cars, so probably what we know as Amtrak, right? And he was the biggest employer of black laborers in the country at one point. But it's all based in Chicago. Like my grandma's house is in walking distance to the Pullman neighborhood still.
Oh,
ooh.
wow.
But
That's
what you
Yeah.
think about that Very Sexy Red that, hey, we had Rihanna and she was doing a thing. Now we got a black man. He was doing this thing and back in, the times when it was really rough. What's your thoughts on that Sexy Red?
Are you talking? Wait.
Slap the taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see you try.
Ugh.
Yuck.
It says, very sexy. Take another breather. Her voice. Ugh. That one is only a 20 this time. So everybody want to bring Very Sexy Red TV
I have
back?
a $60 credit. Can't you bring her back?
Well, y'all be coming up with these new credits.
No. This ain't no new nothing. I had a $60 credit for
From
sure.
when?
From a few weeks ago. I had $60 credit.
Sharon,
Yeah.
for the record, I hate you. Jesus Christ, man. Your
I
setup
swear it was less than a month
crazy.
ago.
I just want to mention something when you talked about the spy thing, Chicago Rilla, that James Coburn was tight, in like Flint, Matt Helm, James Bond. There's a whole line. If you look at Bruce Lee, even had a kind of tightness in his appearance. So this has also been studied with the 60s spy genre. You have to look a certain way to be a spy. Steve McQueen with the fastback Mustang, wearing mock necks with sport coats, and everything was finely, cufflinks. All that stuff was very intentional. When you look at even someone like Johnny Quest, I'm a big Johnny Quest fan. The kid Johnny Quest wearing black mock necks. You would see Steve Jobs. Look at him closely. Steve Jobs was channeling Johnny Quest. Same outfit, black turtleneck, and jeans.
That's interesting. The gloves too, Queen with the gloves.
Now, it's a lot of discussions on this stuff. Everything is intentional when it comes to fashion. There's like a reason. It's just that now we're highlighting black folks and their conversation in fashion. That's all. They just figured out black folks can really put it down when it comes to dressing.
And I think that's another thing that, and shout out to Bomb Cherry. Let's keep her in our prayers. Absolutely. Let's keep her in our prayers as she's going through a tough time. She didn't eat. She didn't drink. Yeah, and I think we also got to be careful with saying that fashion is only for gay men. I think we got to be careful with that, in my opinion. I don't think it's for strictly for gay men. I think they took over the designer part because I think what happened is it's a stigma on fashion. And once that stigma gets hit on anything, men, they tend to run away. Just like how college is a stigma on going to college. You go to school to learn, that's feminine. And so that's why a lot of men are running away from goddamn going to school. But Happy, what is your thoughts on that? Like, so things like school, men are moving away from school because they saying it's, feminine. And also the fashion, it was ran by men, but now a bunch of men are afraid to be in fashion or be fashionable because it's a stigma of gay men. This is why so many men to portray themselves as a masculine man, they just want to wear comfortable things, that the least fashionable thing they want to wear because it represents so-called masculinity. What's your thoughts on that, Happy?
Okay.
Slap the taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see you try it.
Oh. Hey, on one today. It says, Jack Happy for not minding her business. God damn.
Well, you know, Sharon, that very, was it Queer Eye for the Straight Guy? They even brought that back. I think it's on Netflix. Karamo, I think he's on YouTube or something like that. I mean, look, I'm not gonna throw shade or hate towards gay people or gay community, whatever. But I always had an issue growing up with, knowing clean brothers. NOI, are they also, are they, you have to look at the NOI in a weird way. I mean, blackness and being able to dress very well is very much a cultural thing. And to kind of just seed it over to gay people or gay males, it makes it, because, when a black man is clean like that, you really can't discount what he says, right? You have to pay attention. You have to pay attention. There's empowerment in how you dress. So to take away that power, you feminize that person. And again, I'm not trying to throw shade, but it seems to be this issue with always putting that spin. Duke Ellington dressed well, like Cab Calloway dressed well. It's always been, and everybody can't be the gay guy giving gay people or gay males like, oh well, they know how to dress. Nah, that's not how that really works. This is a cultural thing. So Jim Brown and all these people I knew growing up, they could kind of throw down. I'm not feeling that. I'm just saying.
So we back.
You froze for a minute. Yeah, you froze for a minute. Okay.
Yeah, I seen it. But I think definitely because it's a difference between a fitted outfit and a so-called quote unquote gay outfit. I don't even know how did that happen. That happened. Your clothes tailor-made became into a sexual transition. Is weird, but I also understand it as well.
Well, look what Chicago said. Is the Italian man and is the British man, are they gay too? When we know how there's a certain Italian cut to a suit. Why is it only what we see in brothers where they start to dress and get fresh to death? All of a sudden, there's this gay spin on it. I don't quite understand it. And I think it's a little difficult the way that many throw this gay slur on people. Last time I checked, I think hard knuckles and all that kind of stuff. I think that's not an easy life for people to because you don't like what you say. Oh, you gay now? Come on,
I think also those cultures, like the Italian culture, they also known for that as well. It's just that they don't get a negative pass up on it. They don't get a negative like Gucci and all these places that claim that they doing their stuff from Italy. A lot of them are,
they're not the headline act, Sharon. They're not the headline act. That's the issue. Okay, calling a show Queer Eye for the straight guy, like the straight guy doesn't know how to dress.
Gotcha.
Come on, that's what are we saying?
Well, that's because a lot of straight men don't know how to dress, though. That's because they're afraid to dress. They're afraid to get dressed because if they was to wear a tailored suit, if they had a tailor, because like a majority of people don't realize that even if you buy your jeans, you should still take it to your goddamn tailor so it could fit you. Not because even if you could find things that's closely fitted to your size because you're a normal size, you still should go ahead and get it tailored to your legs, your thighs, or whatever it is.
I got one better. A lot of people don't know how to dress. Right? They had TV shows where, like Oprah, for instance, would invite people to come on, males and females, to give them a makeover. Right? So you saw people who were able to look a lot younger. Like their whole thing changed because a stylist came in and taught them how to kind of work their clothing. So the idea that gay men, like that's like an umbrella term, that's not really how that works. A lot of people being able to dress really is an art. It's a kind of having a fashion sense it's not really, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna give Billy Porter in a dress, like we're gonna call that like high fashion? Yeah, because he's gay.
Not.
Come on now.
It's definitely a slippery slope for sure. And shout out to
slippery. It's slippery.
Shout out to my guy on the PayPal. I appreciate you so much. Always showing me love. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And you also get this goddamn.
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey. About to be.
Yeah. And I think also like we got it's just like also like it went from even the metrosexual situation too, right? That's also something that they try to throw on people that dress well. Like it is a weird thing. You dress well, people, and like Robin M said, and that's why I believe men have this arrested development, and they still dress like from You Got Served. They absolutely do. They have a headband, a goddamn elbow band, and baggy shirt, baggy pants. I ain't never dressed like that in my life.
I haven't been to the Village, admittedly, for a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like walking around, and there's a cat on YouTube, Ari at Home. Ari, he's got a hookup where he plays piano and everything, and you might have seen this guy. He gets people to sing, just strangers. They sing or they rap, and he's actually killing it on YouTube. And when you look at him walking around the Village, a lot of people got fashion sense in New York, like just walking around in the certain areas, downtown Brooklyn, as you are aware of. This is the fashion capital of the world in New York. Let's not get it twisted. Like there's people who do know how to do it. It's just that there's also a lot of people who don't, and those are the ones that you see get a little bit of highlighting on that. But
also
channel, man.
Also after that, I think also like the people, if you was to walk around in New York City, especially around like Soho and stuff like that, that's probably you catch a casual super fly person. However, to the regular eye, you wouldn't recognize that that's a super fly person though. So that's another thing too, like to be, and they usually probably our age or older too. The people that's really, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be our age or older because you see a lot of fly ass 60-year-olds.
Yeah, definitely. And let me tell you,
I see this one lady. I was like, she had I knew everything she had on. She had probably maybe like $30,000 worth of clothes and no jewelry. It was and it was fly too. She put it together really good. And before you go, also I want to shout out to the caption. It said, "Shout out to baby girl, loving to hear." Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All you know how you always hold me down. Also, welcome to the show, KT to go and. Good day, Supreme Goddess PH Deva.
Good day. How y'all doing?
We all right. We over here talking about the dance and also for the cash app.
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
What's up, Diva? Diva, you know about those damn black dandies? Dandyism?
Yeah. A little.
That's what we're talking about today because the Met Gala was in support of dandyism.
Yeah, that was the thing.
How did you feel about it?
Well, I mean, I think it's, fine or whatever. So they had 4 black men as the chairs this year, correct? Wasn't it like Pharrell,
A$AP
Rocky, Coleman Domingo, and it was one other person.
I forgot.
Afro
Nerd knew, but he just left. So
I love it. You saw, I just found that interesting, given that like several of the men aren't American, and so I just wonder how they came to that as a.
Well, Pharrell, what you mean? Pharrell's American?
Coleman Domingo is not American. I think he's like Afro Latino or something like that. A$AP Rocky is Bayesian, correct?
I don't know. He's black.
Yeah, but so black people, like, it's not a flat blackness, right? We don't all have the same experience.
Okay.
So yeah, so that was just one of the things I was wondering about, like just how they came to that decision as a
And I
group
think
of four.
I think they did it those people because they very high fashion people with a style of clothing. Everywhere Coleman goes, he is like
Right.
I don't really like him, and I don't really like his acting either because he always have his mouth open for some strange reason. That's like that bothers me. I'm like, why is your mouth open, bro? Every scene, yeah. The fuck. Like Diva, it really bothered. Like I was watching, I'm like, I can't even watch this shit. This really I can't even watch it. But if I do just like look at him on red carpets, he is fly though. Even with his husband, he have his husband nice and fly with him. You know what I'm saying? They all fly. So hey, it is
Right. But
you know,
so what does his flyness have to do with dandyism?
fashion. With what?
Right. Like the dandyism.
So because he do represent a lot of with that tailored suit and express himself through his clothes, and that's what dandyism was supposed to, that's how it kind of like started out to be in my opinion. And something with ASAP Rocky, he's somebody that also is very he pushed the ideas of fashion. A lot of people dress like ASAP Rocky, even though I don't really care for how he dresses, but he pushes the envelope and people try to imitate how he looks.
So any well-dressed black man he's giving a nod to dandyism?
Not any well-dressed man, but ASAP, he definitely would be a modern version of it.
So like what's the distinction? How do we distinguish between just the well-dressed modern black man and someone who is giving a nod to dandyism?
I think what we have to do is that they are expressing themselves through their clothes, and that you can have a conversation about their clothes as well. It's not just them being well dressed, but it's also is an art piece in itself as well. Because majority of the ones that the four guys, Pharrell, ASAP, and Coleman, a lot of times when people see them, they talk about their clothes and what their clothes represent, how cool it was, and all these other aspects to it. So I don't think it's just about being well dressed. I also think it's about the art behind them as well, because it shows that they're not just artistic while with creating was acting or music, but it also shows out through their clothes, I think.
I don't think none of them have a good representation of that. Like, because Pharrell's whole clothes, listen, Louis Vuitton's since Pharrell has became in control of it, they haven't been making very I don't know, storytelling. I don't think I've ever heard somebody see ASAP Rocky, or I think we kind of like confused and talked about for like having a story. Because like people talk about ASAP Rocky for like wearing the skirt and shit. They not like, oh, he wore the skirt because it represent the oppressed, or it wasn't a story. It's more or less like, I don't know how you wear something weird, people will talk about it, but I don't think that means that's a good representation of like dandyism.
Why not? Why you say why not?
I mean, because like with us talking about dandyism, we're talking about our people wore suits. As Diva was saying, we wore these suits for a certain reason, explaining a certain story. We're good people. We even can we can dress like y'all plus better. I don't really get that from any of these people. What I get from all the people, like Pharrell, I get that I got money, so I buy high price shit. Like, and I don't think that's really a representation of dandy. I think
that's fair.
Yeah, I think it would be more or less like poor. Not saying it got to be about poor, but I think if I seen like a group of poor New York kids wearing these type of suits, or made them, you know what I'm saying, something like that. Dapper Dan. I always, if we're talking about modern dandyism, I always look at Dapper Dan. And I know
I think that's a very fair statement. Janelle Monáe is another person that probably would be
I would take that. Yeah.
And another one that would be we mentioned him earlier, Jadena. He's another one that'd be a modern representation of it as well.
Farnsworth.
Farnsworth Bentley would be another version of it as well. So I don't think that we just got to say anybody that's dressed well should be dandyism, but I think people that is very intentional and they trying to tell a story through their clothes. That's why I think Andre 3000, even though he's not very three-piece suit well dressed, but it is storytelling nonetheless. Like, you know, him having a piano on his back was a representation of his new album called 7 Piano. So it told a story. So I think that's what it is. So I think it's just, it moved into a different level of understanding compared to what it originated from. I think it just
He get
moved
on my nerves now. I'm sorry, but he get on my nerves now.
You didn't like the piano?
No, I just think he's absurd. Like, boy, if you don't want to make no rap, go sit your ass down somewhere.
Album.
Right, go
He
sit
did
your ass
drop an
down.
album.
What
Nah,
the
man, I
7
don't know
Piano
why
is
you
about?
play
Is it
the
a rap
flute, nigga.
album? Is it a rap album? If
I
not,
don't
go
really know.
sit
Blue
down.
Sun Moon, whatever the fuck that shit was.
I don't
Right,
know
I'm
what
not
it
gonna
is,
do that.
Diva. I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet. I don't know.
Yeah, if it ain't, go sit down somewhere. But
Man, I
so
tried, y'all. Them flute songs about 9 minutes in totality. I ain't doing that shit. Yo, listen, I know what hey y'all meant, but give me another one of them, fam. You right. I just want to dance, cuz make it.
Go ahead, Diva.
y'all talk about like the absurdity of it. There's also an element of the absurdity, right? Of seeing, because like dandyism came out of like marginalized communities. So seeing these people in very like harsh surroundings and environments, but they dress to the nines, right? They're doing that over in, I forget what, I'm outside, y'all, my bad. Hold on, I'll mute. But they're doing that. I forget which country. Is it Namibia in Africa, right? And so they still, you know, dress to the nines, whatever. But it does look kind of absurd when they are juxtaposed against their surroundings or their environment, right? Yeah.
But what? I don't know.
What you mean?
I don't know. I think
It's the same thing we say about the Benz or the Jaguar being parked outside of the projects.
I don't know if I agree
goes
with that.
back to
I'm
that
really
story
thinking
y'all
about if
talking
I
about.
disagree with your statement or not, because I understand it, but I don't know if I agree with it.
Okay.
You got me thinking about it. I do not have a immediate. Usually, you know, I have an immediate response, but I do not have an immediate response. You stumped me, young lady.
Boy, Sharon is speechless.
Yeah, because I got to think about it.
This is a Kodak moment.
Now we just got to get KT there.
To think?
Speechless or thinking, you know, one or the other. In the absence of one, do the other.
Hey, I get speechless for a couple hours. Chill.
I'm glad you brought that up, though, PhD Diva. Hi. Because that's one of the things with Kanye West that always stuck with me. I love this song, All Falls Down, right? Even if you in a bench, you still an N-word in a coupe, right? So that's just one of the things that's always in my mind. Since then, and I was a child when that album came out.
Happy, you was a child when College Dropout came out?
I think so. If I wasn't, I was like, what, 18, 19 or something, maybe? Like, that's a long time ago, right?
Yeah, how old am I?
How old am I? That's what I'm saying. That was a long time ago.
What year did College Dropout come out?
Probably 2000. No, when did he have the battle with 50?
Yeah, that was a while. It was a good.